7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
He has a lot of problems.
Struggle to be top 5 in points at the end of the season.
Wow.
You bleach your hair, you're a sellout.
Yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Moto Aftermath Show. I'm your host, Travis. We are here for the 2024 Supercross preview show here. We're back in the TLR Coatings studios for another season. Budget's tight this year, so everything should look the same as last year because we just don't have a budget for anything. We're broke. In studio with me here, it is... Are you guys going to be here all season?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're not going to bail out?
Outside of anything crazy happening, yeah.
I want 100% commitment.
That's never going to happen.
Fuck. Okay. What about you?
I can't 100% either.
Oh, man. Kawasaki's going to pull the plug on you here quick, guaranteed.
guaranteed.
So, anyway, it is the two co-hosts for most of the Supercross seasons. Justin, Cole. Hey, boys.
How's it going?
What up? I'm
going
just,
great.
Just pulling in the driveway, and I look to my right, and this guy just comes out of nowhere. He's got a new vehicle, didn't recognize the vehicle. He's got a new look.
And he's so skinny.
Like, in a good... Dude.
It's a new person. Hey, man, I got to tell you, though, okay? I love you and know this is a joke and lovingly. Quit losing weight because your head's going to tip over your body here soon.
I know, right?
I
huge.
just...
Head's huge, bro. I get it.
Oh,
Man, it's just... I just want to applaud you because once you get into life and you realize how hard it is to be disciplined and really stick to something, Justin has done that, and you can see the results.
Yes.
Like
Appreciate
you can see the results like yourself, but I think it probably means a whole lot more when other people are seeing your results too. So
Oh, yeah. It's always interesting to me when I haven't seen somebody for a while and they say something, and I'm like, you guys know me. I'm not a person that really likes the attention. Like, I don't like comments. Like, I appreciate when people are nice, but that's just never been me. So it's like, it's awkward, but
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, man.
you'll get used to it. You're gonna have to get used to it.
Cole's like, I know what that's like.
Getting compliments?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. I've gotten compliments before, but it definitely. I wish they were on my looks.
How, number one, two things here already. Number one, make sure that you're talking directly into that mic. Number two, let's make sure we're talking a bit louder than normal because the people on the camera over there, or on the live stream, are saying that it's going through the camera audio, which it is. Again, we're testing this, folks. That's why I was like,
move that thing closer over.
I can't. Otherwise, like, we don't see anything here. So,
Cole, when was the last time you were actually on the show, though?
yeah.
I was Supercross, but like, weren't there a couple rounds where you weren't there towards the end, or were you there at all of them?
I really don't remember.
I don't either.
Somebody fact check us.
What, I got a question for you. How much weight have you lost?
70 plus pounds
Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
That is incredible.
in 3.5 months.
That is fucking nuts.
Yep.
Wow.
That is actually really incredible.
Yeah, that's great. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
Like I said, I lost 10 pounds before I went on vacation because me and Sanjay had a bet going on, and then I put 6 of that back on down there because the answer to everything was, yes, I'd like to eat that.
My biggest question is, was it one of three? Was it alcoholic beverage? Was it sweets? Or was it pizza?
Yes.
He's like, all of the above.
Bro,
Yeah.
so sweets...
I know you're not a big, like, you like sweets, but like,
Oh, no,
there's some,
I'm huge in
but there's
sweets.
some stuff I know that you
Do you
don't
know how many
eat.
Sweetwater donuts I ate yesterday?
But I know there's some
8.
sweets that you
The
don't.
answer's 8.
I know there's some sweets that you don't eat, though.
Yeah, no, so we do. I mean, we just... Sanjay likes to eat too, so it was just a bad situation because it was never no. Now we did discover, me and him, that in our older ages here, because he's gonna be 40 this year. I'm 35 now. We can't eat as many as we used to. Gives us stomach aches, terrible stomach aches. So it was rough, but. You know, whatever. It's fine. I got the
It's wintertime, man.
I know how the program works now in the age I'm at because for a while there I was kind of struggling with, I wasn't really losing. I'd kind of like plateau a bunch and then be there for a long time. So I figured out how the program works. So I'm kind of enjoying this week, hence the reason I got donuts yesterday, because I have 3 different Christmas things to do next week.
Holidays.
On Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then after that's done, then I'm kind of done with it. So, but anyway, it's great to see you boys. Excited to have you here.
Been a little while.
Yeah,
Been a little while.
for the
Buck
preview
Bash, Buck Bash, Chicagoland.
here. Yeah,
Probably.
the last time we were all done
I,
same
didn't, I
place?
didn't go to Bucks.
no.
Yeah, you were at Club, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty
I was
cool.
only at Bucks for like an hour.
Yeah.
How bad was it?
It was cold.
pretty
It was
muddy.
It was cold and
Oh,
muddy.
dude, it was
yeah.
cold. It was windy.
Look,
I- 'cause-
I love JB to death, but
We need to move that up.
we need to move Buck back.
We need to move it up in like September or something when it's
Yeah.
still like
Yeah,
70-some
when
degrees.
It's still pretty nice, and we can.
Dude,
we
it
can
was
do
it was bad. It was like
Yeah.
and obviously it stopped raining, but dude, the wind was
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was really torn because I haven't missed a Buck Bash in a very long time. But getting the opportunity and guys that were going down to the club open house and stuff like it,
Yeah.
was, it was kind of a no-brainer.
yeah.
to
Oh,
go
you
down
made
there.
the smart decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, and oh man, that place is phenomenal. That place. Is
You mean the
phenomenal.
10 tracks that they have there?
Well, just that and the whole setup and stuff. Like
Brandon-
it gave me a lot of insight.
Brandon definitely turned that place into
Yeah, that
something
place
special.
is quite the thing. So,
Yep.
all right. So let's get popping here. So first off, just want to thank our sponsors for the year here. Back with us for 2024 here. First off, presenting sponsors as always. TLR Coatings been with us since the beginning. They provide us with this building and this studio to have the show in. So thanks to TLR Coatings, all your custom powder coating needs. We also offer Cerakoting. I know I had a guy from New York hit me up a while ago wanting some hubs Cerakoted. But he was getting some wheels done by W, so I kind of directed him to just have W do it, and then he hit me
W.
up and said, yeah, they won't do the so I'm in the process of working with him. I haven't forgot about you, bro. It's been super busy around here, and I know it's a long-term project, so just one of those things. I haven't done the research that I need to do on that for you. Also on board with us still for this year, Complete Racing Solutions. Make sure to go check them out. There's links to all these sponsors in the bio, by the way. So Complete Racing Solutions, Coach Rob and his team will scientifically get you ready for both on and off the bike, whether you want to do something like Justin and just lose weight, you want to be like me and be a better rider and a more fit person, or you want to be like Cole and I'm not sure what you're trying to do, man.
I don't really know either, man.
Cole's trying to live his life.
Just live life. Coach Rob and his team can help you out. They can do blood work for you. They can do training for you for all different lifestyles. They can do diet for you. Again, CompleteRacingSolutions.com. Check it out. They do like monthly subscription, all sorts of stuff. So make sure to check them out. I'm not sure what the read's supposed to be for this month. I forgot to write that down. So sorry, Coach. Luckily, Coach is a pretty easygoing guy, much like myself. So he's just like, as long as you say something, it's great. So anyway, there we are. Also on board with us this year, we have Gutter Works returning for our 450 race recaps.
Oh, love it.
Josh and Kayla.
I'm glad that Josh and Kayla stick around.
You know, that's one of two places I rode this year was their house once.
I really hope that they stick with us as long as possible or till whenever we stop doing this
I'm
show.
sure they
because
will.
Obviously, all of us have known Josh and Kayla for a long time and just obviously hard workers. And as far as not just the moto community, but just the community around here as a whole.
Big fans of the always well hung. Like Justin Barsha.
Yes, always well
Love
hung
it.
like Justin
Love
Barsha.
it, yeah.
Also, still on board with us this year, Holster Co. So for all you things that go bang, bang, pew, pew, pow, pow, again, link in the description. They make some super cool things that hold things like that. And they're going to be back for the Holster Co. Reload Rants. And then our last sponsor for this year, as of right now, Issac Nelson Designs, still on board with us, doing logo stuff. He just did a revamp of a logo or a poster thing for the shop the other day for me. So they're still going to be on board with us this year for Issac Nelson Designs Digging Danger Zone.
I'm really wondering if we're going to even have those this year at this
Oh,
point.
we are, buddy. Yeah, anytime you talk about them, it's dangerous.
It's true.
Unless you're literally like,
And even then, like, you just don't say
even
the
then
right
it's
things.
even then you still say something they don't like. So whatever. But anyway, so those are going to be our sponsors for this year. Okay. So I just want to start the show off.
Hang on, I just want to talk about your bum ass list.
Why?
Did you read
There's
his list?
one very important guy that he missed.
Look, dude,
Wait,
that's
did you-
why I sent it to everyone so that you guys could
I know, I
make
wanted to
sure
give him shit
and
about it.
double check it.
Oh,
Look at,
yeah.
Look at that list and see if you know who you
I
missed.
got
So
a
I d-
notification
so-
for the change this morning.
So,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So that might have been a text that I never got then.
Oh,
He didn't put Roxon on the initial list.
because
Oh.
it's because I made a note on the phone. I guess that you need to get an iPhone.
He didn't put Diener the Wiener on there either.
I wasn't really concerned about him, to be honest with
Or
you.
Hill.
I didn't.
Which one? Or
What
both.
do you want to talk about? Hill rolling around again?
All
I'm
right.
confused.
Oh, you want to talk about him getting a podium last year?
Oh
being
my
one
God.
of three
Here we
guys
go.
that make
We are
every single
arguing.
meet?
I feel like you guys are going to be the ones that are going to argue.
Recency bias here. The SMX rounds were shit.
I feel like you guys are going
He
to be the ones that are
podiumed in the main season.
Bro, recency bias. He rolled around SMX. There was zero effort there.
I know, still got paid though.
Anyway, okay, so I want to start off, and I know you gave me a warning before, so I'm not going hard on anything here, but I was watching the show from last year, okay? And look, here is my Holster Co. reload rant for this show is, once again, the season starts in what, 2 weeks here? 2.5 weeks?
Three
Is
weeks.
it 3? We don't have the fucking SMX rounds yet.
3 weeks. There's rumor though of what it was. Though.
Okay, well, last year we talked. Let me tell you this, because I only made it through about the first half hour of the show this morning. I meant to do it all week. Obviously didn't. Whatever. Anyway, last year we rumored that we were going to Atlanta, Charlotte, and Coda, and the only one we got right was Charlotte. And I don't really think we thought we were going to the Charlotte drag strip.
So now it's going to be Charlotte, Atlanta, and Vegas.
Charlotte, Atlanta, and Vegas.
And literally in that order.
Yeah, no,
Charlotte
like,
Dirt Track, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
I
which is
don't
why
think
now-
we're going to Atlanta. I
And
think we're
then-
going back to Chicago.
and then Vegas.
I could have sworn we were going to go back to Chicago, but
I'll lay a bunch of money we go back to Chicago because they get that place for nothing, and they
They get
signed a
that-
multi-year deal. We talked about that last year.
I bet they get that place pretty cheap. But man, I would love to see it go back to Vegas because Supercross without Vegas is just very weird.
I don't think they're
know.
going to the stadium, though.
No,
they're
they were
talking
going
about
to the
go-
Speedway.
Yeah, they're going to talk about the Speedway, and everybody's like, God, I hope we don't go to the drag strip.
Which is, that's questionable in my opinion, because Vegas in September can be fine or it can be 120 degrees, which would suck.
Man, I'm
Super
still
motocross.
Yeah, I know.
I am still on board for going to Coda, but it's never going to happen.
I am too.
Yep.
So
So
that's
either way-
that's my rant. See, I didn't go hard.
I know
Didn't
you're
go
not
hard to
gonna
the
go
paint
hard. I know
there.
you're gonna go
I'm just like, dude, like I ranted about this last year. I'm gonna rant about it this year because, to be honest, for people like us who have a very small budget and we're trying to figure out what rounds we're going to, it's like, okay, I don't want to overextend myself to try to go to St. Louis and Nashville, whatever, and then we get to the end of the year and we get like, into outdoors and it's like, oh, by the way, we're gonna go to, Chicago and somewhere in Ohio and whatever, Vegas, and then be like, oh, well, I guess now I got to come up with money to go to these two because they're only a few hours away. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're announcing it at Anaheim 1 from some stuff that I saw,
Okay.
which would make sense because there's all the buildup of Anaheim 1,
Yeah.
and right now they're giving us the suspense and all the buildup of what the SMX rounds are going to be too. So
Well, I would definitely on board with you guys. I'm gonna go Charlotte in Chicagoland, but the third one still to me is the biggest question mark because, like you said, Vegas is very up and down, but it is weird.
But I
Atlanta,
did hear Vegas talk from
Yeah.
some people who are
yeah, well,
planning it.
we definitely we heard that. I'm just curious what the third one because I still think it's going to be Charlotte and Chicagoland.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. So that so that wraps up my Holster Co. reload rant for this one. All right, let's get into our 450 Supercross preview here, 2024. Where you boys want to start?
I don't know. You guys are the one that
hang
took
on, man.
notes.
I want to start. I got some notes here.
I really just
Look,
go
let's just hit the first bullet point there on my notes here that we'll start with, which is Colt Nichols, Benny Bloss,
You might as well just say Team Beta.
Team Beta,
They
or
did their
Beta.
they did
Beta.
They did their release, like, what was it, 2 days ago? They had their
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
formal
Yep.
video release.
Yep. Okay. How many races does Benny actually make it to before he gets hurt? Does he make it to A1?
Yeah.
Okay. So he makes it to A1.
Yeah.
How many beyond that?
Well, to me, Benny, and this is exactly what I was going to say about him, is like he lacks heart, I feel. And
Maybe.
And he also looks like he's riding a freaking tricycle out there. But
Well, that's just being a big dude.
But I don't know if this whole program kind of he gets to reinvent himself. He's a factory team that's brand new and gets a lot of input on what needs to be done. And I think that stuff could all be an advantage to him. But as far as making it all the rounds, like he still has to prove that to all of us. He hasn't made a full season yet, and if something does go haywire for him, he's pulling off.
Mm-hmm.
And for you fantasy people, if you play fantasy, you know,
You know,
he
you
pulls
know.
off. And you also know that he has speed.
Yep.
So he's one of those guys. For me, I'll chalk it up. If he can make every single round, then that's a win for him.
Okay.
I say he
about you?
makes say he makes all 8 rounds, all the mains, and then bows out for 5, and then rounds off. I think that there's 2 points that you could look. I guess there's 2 things you could look at. New team. Are they going to put it on him to test the bike and develop it? Or are they just going to be like, well, Benny, that's not your strong suit. Like, Colt's really good at that. We know he was doing that with Honda. So it could go either way. If they don't put that pressure on him, I think they just give him the freedom to do whatever he wants. Like, hey, go ride, go be a professional racer. But I think if they start putting pressure on him to develop the bike as well, I think that's where Benny might crumble a little bit. Because I totally agree. Benny is one of the most naturally talented dudes out there. Like, you watch him when he's on one, it's pretty to watch. But he doesn't have the heart in it, and I think part of that too comes from the fact of he doesn't have to do this to make, like, his family has money, and that's all I'll say. So I think he makes all the mains for the first 8 rounds. Something happens during the week, he crashes, something goes wrong in practice, he bows out for a few rounds, finishes out the series. But I think it's really going to depend on, are they going to put it on him to develop the bike, or are they just going to be like, nope, Colt, that's your job, Benny, just go race. Because mentally, I think that could crumble him if there's pressure on him to make that bike better.
Okay.
Because I don't really think that's something that's not a strong suit for him.
Yeah. Look, man, if he makes it more than 5 rounds this year, I'll be impressed, to be honest with you. Oh, and that's throughout the entire 17 rounds. Are they going outdoors? Does anybody know?
No,
I would imagine they are.
Okay.
I think this is a full
big program.
I'm just talking Supercross right now. Who knows with outdoors? I'm going, if he makes it 5 rounds, I'll be impressed.
Yeah.
Does he make the mains in those 5 rounds?
I don't know. It's going to be tough when you start looking at the list.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think so, but Benny's so prone to crashing. Even if he doesn't hurt himself, he's so prone to crashing. And with the list of dudes that we have here alone, not counting any of these fast privateers or like way other off the wall teams, I mean, dude, you can't go down. You're going to have to get a start and
the LCQs are
going
to be brutal this year. The LCQs are going to be brutal.
You're going
at least for the first 3 rounds.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to be. And I know he's a friend of the show. Moran's and yank a start and just be consistent.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. What about Colt?
Colt Nichols, I think he brings a lot of value to that team just because of his testing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, beta. However, somebody clarify that for us. But
Beta.
I think he has a much bigger role in that team than just a rider, especially with the testing standpoint. So I think it's in there for him to be around top 10 kind of guy. We all know Colt Nichols is super talented, has a title to back it up. He was clearly better than Christian Craig the year he won that title.
He was better. You could argue he's better than everybody that year.
100%. And
at least in Supercross.
Man, I just hope this is the reset that he needs. I feel the team environment, which is really important. Mm-hmm. I feel like the team environment fits his mold where he can have a little less stress on him as far as like going out to perform, and more of his stress is like building this team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah.
I think for him that's a good mindset to go out and be okay if you're not winning or getting 10th or whatever. But be okay with the value of you're making this bike better, you're making the team better, and you're making this manufacturer a manufacturer that's here to stay in the sport. So
I think this year will be better for him strictly because we got a 2-year deal now.
Yeah.
There's no question. There's not. Oh, I'm only riding Supercross, and then I got to try to find something. No. It's he's set for 2 years, which I think will bring a calmness to him. I think last year, like, the Honda was obviously a great ride. Yeah. No questions asked. But I believe with the kind of uncertainty of, like, what the hell am I going to do after this? I think that might have screwed him up a lot and made it kind of like plus he was coming in hurt. Then he got re-injured. He wasn't riding during there was just a whole bunch of factors where I think if he comes in healthy, he at least stands a chance this year. And what I mean by chance is I think he's one of those guys that puts it in the main basically no matter what. Like,
I'm going to be a little bit rougher on Colt, which kind of hurts me because I really
like
like Colt.
Hang on. I want to make one last point before we get to you real quick is the other part about beta.
I think you're saying it right.
I go with beta.
I think it's beta.
Beta? Like a beta fish?
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
I think it's beta.
We'll go with beta fish.
It's fine. Whatever.
Anyway, it seems that they're lenient on the World Supercross side of things too. So if Nichols or Bloss have a shot with Rick Ware or whatever, they are open to having that conversation.
Do you think that they'll send them on their bikes though?
Next year, I bet.
Because I don't think Rick Ware
He's
cares
done.
what manufacturer
I think he
ride.
might be done with the whole thing.
Oh, really?
I've seen some things about, okay, is Nichols going to be allowed to ride at Rick Ware Supercross or whatever? And they said that was a conversation. So that is an interesting point that you bring up, because I didn't even think of that. Is it going to start to evolve where some of these somewhat private teams, they provide the bike and their rider can still go ride for a different entity over there? So interesting point.
And I think just to go off on a small tangent with the World Supercross thing there, I think that whole dynamic's going to change here. I kind of said in a video I did in the off season a little bit of like I wasn't as high on World Supercross as I was when it first came in, but I believe now there is some changes being made that are going to make it better. Like I've heard that they're going to be the fall series at least for a while here, which I think is a really, really smart move on their part, because if you can start building the following and whatever, and the rapport with people, then it's a lot easier to go, oh, well, we're going to start 2 weeks earlier. Oh, we're going to start 2 weeks early, and then start pushing into like where you have some summer rounds. But I think for right now, and I've said this before, the fact that they're going to go be the fall series, which now means, okay, now there's no
overlapping.
Yeah, overlapping with the series that everybody's involved in over here. So now that makes things a bit easier, I guess. I mean, I'm sure the manufacturers, I know you can't speak on this, are still not going to be super stoked on it, but I think there's less barriers at that point. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And we're going to move on past that.
I think Colt to start the year 12 to 15 ends the season as they get that bike to progress. And I think the only big issue with that bike is, because it is a heavier bike, is getting that bike to not be a bucking bronco in the whoops, because I guess it's a very nose heavy bike.
Interesting.
So it likes to squat a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I think he rounds out the season 7 to 10.
Okay.
I really
think he's gonna be?
I really when people start getting hurt.
Man, if he stays,
Because let's be real, this is Death Cross. A lot of dudes are going to get hurt. It happens every year. It's literally like you can guarantee it. I mean, look at the last couple rounds of Supercross this past year. Like, there was a lot of dudes missing.
Justin Hill podiumed.
Yeah, exactly. I think that as they progress that bike, I think it'll be better. But I just think that Colt is... I mean, that wrist is not ever getting better. His issues are never... The issues that he has with his body are never going to get better, which is always going to limit him to this point, which is a bummer, because I think had he not had that issue, I think we'd be having a totally different conversation on Colt Nichols. Okay. But I think that's always going to be a hindrance for him, because he's just never... It's kind of like with AC. I think he's always going to have issues at the end of mains.
All right. So moving on off the beta group there, probably one of the bigger off-season topics here. Dylan Ferrandis, Phoenix Honda.
Training with your boy.
Factory connection suspension.
Training with your boy. He's training with Jet.
Oh, yeah.
Training with Jet. Jet, Hunter, and Joe.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Apparently they're like boys now. They're like hanging out and doing a bunch of shit together.
Sick. I like his chances more now. I'm totally kidding. All right. Does he make it through the season?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I think he does. Again, it's not a
Different dynamic.
Yeah, it's not a corporate pressure kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a all hands on deck, like whatever this guy wants, we're gonna do.
I mean, they dropped a bunch of people over there to afford him too.
They did. They cut.
Unfortunately, Cody Schock. I mean, it worked out.
I was gonna say, yeah, they cut Cody Schock, and the J Law thing was all happening at the same thing. And I will say, I wish they would have handled that a little better.
I heard that was on their end.
It was kind of on their end where...
I don't know. I've heard different conflicting things.
I mean, the Johnny video that I watched, where it seemed like Heath Harrison didn't really come out to J-Law and just say, hey, man, we're trying to afford Ferrandis. He just tried to beat around the bush about it.
Yeah.
I think J-Law's J-Law, but I think he
took it a little disrespectful.
He is owed at least the respect of just saying, hey, man, we're not going to be able to make it work. So, but back to Ferrandis, the interviews you watch with him, everything of him riding, this is the most comfortable he's ever felt on Supercross. Man, we've all seen him have some speed in Supercross. Like, we've seen him run podium speed, no problem.
You last year made several comments that he was going to get podiums, and
I mean, dude, that was the thing is he was before he got hurt, he was
Yeah,
top 5. He
that
was
didn't-
trending towards that way, and then he got hurt, and almost died.
that didn't go well.
I think Dylan's one of the most interesting stories coming into the season. He's on a bike he likes. He's in a good headspace. He's got people willing to do whatever they want to win, and
I really hope so, but I'm very doubtful at this point until I see something. If I see something, if he makes it through the first 8 rounds and he's still healthy and he's even at this point in my mind dancing around the top 10 there, which I know is crazy to say, but we're on a not factory bike with not factory suspension, and there's a lot of X factors to this. Okay, this isn't he went from Star Yamaha to HRC. He
With
went,
Ziggy, though,
you
it might
don't
as well
tell me
be.
that he's getting some backdoor parts training down there at the Lawrence compound.
And with
Come on.
Ziggy,
I don't know.
I'm not worried about that.
I've tried to do some digging on this whole situation because there was some things thrown at me that there was a legit thing to bring the factory connection team back for him, but they ran out of time and obviously didn't have enough funding, whatever. So this is where it ended up landing. I don't know.
With Ziggy, I'm not worried about that bike.
I'm not worried about the bike.
Ziggy's
either.
been doing this for way too long. Even if he doesn't have the financial backing, that bike's going to be fine.
Okay, here's what I'm worried about with it. The starts. We all know he sucks at starts, and
Well, that's never going to go away.
Cannot get start. Well, it depends. Like, can he get that jet map? I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, if they're down there and buddy, you never know. But those two boys are very good at starts, and if he's practicing starts with them down there,
Yeah.
he truly might have a learning disability if he can't learn from them.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're with those guys doing starts every day, you should be able to figure something out, and you're on the same bike. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think he's. If I'm giving him advice, which he'll never listen to, be okay with being a 5 to 10 guy through Supercross. Mm-hmm. Get through Supercross
And let's get to outdoors.
and get to outdoors.
That's the other big interesting thing with this is so Phoenix Honda obviously has not gone outdoors before, and now all of a sudden we're gonna go outdoors.
Oh, he'll definitely be the only dude outdoors, though.
That's what I was wondering here, because you've had guys like Cullen Park and that for that team,
but they loaned him a Sprinter van and a bike.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. I had asked a couple people are they going outdoors? And the answer was yes. So
No,
I don't
they've
know.
got
We'll
no
see.
choice but to go outdoors with Dylan for
Yeah. Now with that,
I think he's
so-
going to be a lot of the same. I agree. I think he's going to be really fast in Supercross. Just hopefully he makes it through it. And I think that by the end of the year, probably some top 5s. And I think his biggest thing is just getting ready for outdoors. That's his biggest thing.
Just please get through Supercross.
With him, you know what you're
Yeah.
going to get in Supercross. It's just he's got to stay healthy because speed is it's not his issue. It's literally the starts are shit, and then that puts him in bad situations. And
Yeah.
I think that sometimes he gets a little flustered because he knows he should be beating these people, and then that's what he forces himself into those mistakes. But I mean, all the races that he's gotten starts, he's always been fine.
Yeah.
He's always just kind of hovered around where he starts at. So yeah, Dylan just kind of is where he is at this point when it relates to Supercross.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay, let's move on from him there. So you want to talk about the Hill brothers? Go ahead. How much money you want to lose
I
this
guess
year?
we don't want to talk about the
How
Hill
much
brothers.
money you want to lose this year?
Josh is not racing, I don't think. So we can cut our money in half.
Okay.
I think he's out.
Great. So now we're down to Justin.
We're free riding. Man,
on a Starkvarg.
I think he makes mains all the way through the year.
I mean, he did it last year.
Yeah.
Come on, even before some of the guys got hurt more than they were, he started coming on.
And he's back
strong
on a
for the end.
KTM.
So once they were figuring that bike out and everything, he started doing all right. He's in a good place.
He is the same person he was before. And I know that because I watched it at Chicago, dude. And it was just unbelievable to watch him at Chicago roll around and not
but
even
we're
try.
not
Both
talking
of them,
about
too.
We're not
even
talking about SMX right now.
I don't care. If it goes well, fine, then yes, he'll be like last year. If it doesn't, then he does the same Justin Hill stuff that he always does, which is he quits trying, he quits whatever. And look, I don't have any problem with him. He is a great talent as far as riding a dirt bike. It's just he lacks motivation at points, in my opinion. And SMX last year was a prime example of Supercross went well. They were making mains. They were doing okay, him and his brother. And then as soon as you got to SMX, it was like they turned the light switch off, dude. I mean, to watch them roll around at Chicago, like I never even had a good video of them riding at Chicago because every time I turned around, they were just like, brr, brr, like I could have rode faster. It was unbelievable. So how much?
I guess we'll just leave it on Hill.
So
but
you want to?
what kind of bet do you want to make?
I don't care. Where do you want to go with this? I'm always down to win some money.
$20 at the end of the season. If he, I don't know where you want him to be in points. Top.
Oh, you want to do a points thing?
I don't know what you want to do.
You
Figure
want-
out a bet. Let me know.
All right, we'll figure something out by the end of the show.
I say he makes all the mains.
Because I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a sticky note over there, and we're gonna write it. We're gonna write the bets out this year.
He makes
Stick
all
'em
the
on
mains.
thing.
Makes all the mains. His best finish in a main, singular.
Yeah.
4th. End of the year.
I was just gonna go 10th, but I mean, he did last year, so I'll go 10th.
Okay. All right.
One main makes all the mains, no problem.
'Kay.
Makes all the mains. 10th in the best main, and I'll give him a little bit of respect. It doesn't even have to be at the end of the season when it's kind of like a fucking dog shit podium or top 5. Like he makes it.
He'll make it before that.
Yeah, he'll be
All right.
round 9. He gets 10th.
All right.
Let's get over the hill here.
Yeah, we're over the
Wow.
hill.
Wow.
Okay, so Diener the Wiener here.
This will be
Diener
his
the
last.
winner.
This will be his last full season.
This could be his last.
No,
season.
he's already made the comment.
Well, I mean, I've seen it, but we'll see.
Yeah, Diener the Wiener. Man, if Tomac wouldn't have taken him out for that title, what kind of
here
career
we
could he
go.
have had? But man, I watch that guy ride sometimes. And I'm like, oh my god, like he looks amazing in some of those videos and stuff. And for him, I think he needs to just and he's old enough. He's got that VRM, which we'll get into a little later. VRM's that vet rider mentality.
Yes.
He knows who he is and where he fits in. And I think he is the next Justin Brayton, just off-season guy. Australia
Yeah,
has a great
I think
time
so.
over there.
Oh, dude, he was so pumped on winning that title.
Yeah, and I think he likes doing that
And-
kind of stuff, so I think it'll be cool for him.
I think that's amazing for him. Like that guy deserves to win something.
Yep.
And I think it'll be pretty interesting to see what those wins overseas does for him coming into the U.S. season.
Yeah.
I did see him some GoPro at MTF where he was doing some motos with the Star team.
Yep.
And he had nothing for Justin Cooper. Had
not a
nothing for
surprise.
those guys.
So
So
not a surprise.
so with that and just kind of seeing some of that stuff, I kind of put him about right where he was, just really fighting to get in the top 10 all year.
Cool.
I think the fact that, to piggyback off that comment about the VRM and just the way he's going about things, the fact that it's finally taken him to this point in his career to be okay with where he's at, because I think he's always just kind of been a little annoyed because he's had so many injuries and he knows. I mean, dude, he used to beat Eli. He used to beat Baggett back in the day, Barsha, all these guys. And if he wasn't beating him, he was pacing him. I think it frustrated him for a long time that he just could never get back to that. I think now that he's finally accepted that, to once again piggyback off the Brayton comment, I think that when we get to the end of the season, the grind, I think that it'll allow him to just be a little bit more okay with getting a 10th, and maybe that propels him into a 6th because he's just mentally better going into the next round. But yeah, I agree. Like he's kind of just same thing with Colt. He's where he's at in his point in his career, and the fact that he's okay with it, that's fine.
Yeah,
and
he's already done a great job to lay the foundation and the framework for a career after riding.
Yeah.
And he's already
So-
made a lot of money. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Okay. Everybody watching on the YouTube Live, thank you for
Thank
tuning
you.
in.
Thank you.
There
Thank
are
you.
16 of you now, which is impressive
Wow.
for something we didn't announce and we just kind of are doing. And I know the audio kind of sucks, so I'm sorry. I will try to fix that. We're going to try to do some more live stuff this year. So leave you going for a little bit longer here. So thanks, everybody, for tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Tell your friends, tweet it out, send it out, whatever. All right, let's move into our next group here. So the Rockstar Husky team, which I thought was fitting that we do that after our kind of off teams here because neither one of these guys made it through the entire season last year.
Hang on.
Oh,
One
boy.
guy
Oh,
that
boy.
we didn't mention will be riding East Coast on 450s.
Who?
And he's hungry for that money.
Who?
Vince Freeze.
Oh, boy.
I mean,
Just say he's
I mean-
he's gonna make mains.
I mean,
'cause
so is Mitchell Oldenburg.
But Vince Freezy is gonna grab some storylines and he's gonna make mains because he's a good fucking
It's actually
rider.
it's
That's
actually a
all
little
I'm
bit of a
saying.
bummer that Hayden's going east because I was really looking forward to Freezy and Hayden getting into it on the
Oh.
West Coast.
Yeah, the internet
So-
would explode.
Maybe.
Anyway,
All right,
back
hey,
into
back
Rockstar Husky.
back to Rockstar Husky here.
Sorry about that.
All right, so Christian Craig.
Have you guys seen the videos? Some of the, like, if you, I don't know. if
No.
you- okay.
No, I haven't.
some of the
To be
vlogs.
honest, no.
The vlogs.
Fired off. You're first.
Yep.
So
Go for it.
I've watched a couple of the vlogs. They've obviously been out at the Husky test track, KTM. They did the whole TV intro thing for all their interviews that they played during the rounds and shit. And it was just videos of him, RJ, Guillaume, not Cochran, and then Mookie riding. And I really hate to say this because I'm such a big Christian Craig fan, but I watch him and I go, yep, this looks like Christian Craig of old, like just same buttery smooth, like effortless. And then I watch Malcolm, and then I watch Malcolm walk away from him, and I go, it's not going to be a fun year.
It's the bike, right?
No, I don't think it's the
You don't
bike.
think so? You
No,
think it's just him?
I'm done. And we'll get to this.
I think Mookie's just a better
And
rider.
we'll get
He's
to
just lost the step.
And we'll get to that when we talk about a certain KTM rider later on in the show. I'm done with everybody bitching and complaining about those bikes. Those bikes are fine. Like everybody
They're
else
fixed.
can make it work. They're fine. The bikes are fine.
Well, the new chassis and everything, since they use their factory edition loophole.
Yeah.
Those guys all do look better through the whoops
Yeah.
and stuff. So
I don't know if I agree with lost a step. I just think that this is just Christian on a 450 full time on Supercross track.
Which makes him fall in where?
Consistently?
Yeah.
8 to 12.
Okay.
yeah,
But I don't mean like an 8 to 12, not in a bad way, because obviously you're still one of the best riders in the world on a Supercross track. But when I say 8 to 12, I mean 8 to 12, but like not anywhere near the top 5 at any point other than maybe like a heat race.
Okay.
Because like Malcolm like walked away from him.
Okay. What about you?
I think this season it's do or die for Christian Craig.
I think so, too.
It's for him. He needs to set a goal of being a 5 to 10 guy and accept it, and know that this is the last year of your contract. You may not get another shot, but your wife, your family, you guys have done a great job of also laying a foundation elsewhere.
Yep.
I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see Paige and his kids in like a Clorox ad or some shit. Or some big time like
That's
cleaner
wild.
brand
I
or
don't know,
something.
I haven't seen that.
Anyway, like TikTok, usually because you follow them, they pop up. This was a full-on ad for a company.
Interesting.
So there's money coming in through there. Like props to them. They've done a great job building that side of things. And you guys know I used to be a Craig hater and stuff, and everything I hear is like what you see from him on camera is what you get in person, and I can respect the hell out of that.
He was super nice to Ashley and Ellie a couple of years ago at Redbud, so
Yeah,
when he was on Star.
So I respect that. You're in the 450 class, except that you're a 5 to 10 guy. Make your money, build a fan base, and
I mean, he's what, 30-something years old now?
He's 31.
31, yeah.
31.
So you're in your 30s, man, and like just, yeah.
You got your title. You got your
Yep.
250 title.
yeah, and I think that these guys all just need to. Maybe they just need to go do ayahuasca with Adam and just accept who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, man, I'll be interested. I want him just to get through Supercross, and then I want to see him ride outdoors.
Who
on
would
that
have ever
bike.
thought that saying Christian Craig would actually be better on a 450 on an outdoor track than a Supercross track would have ever been a thing?
Well, I'm just interested to see, because I think if he gets to outdoors, okay, if he doesn't ragdoll himself and just completely obliterate his arm and his shoulder and everything again, the outdoors was what I was super
He's a proven
interested to
top
see
5 guy.
last year,
yeah,
because
he's a
it's
proven
like
guy outdoors.
because if he can't get towards that top 5 outdoors, then it's a bike problem, because we all know he can go that fast and ride that smooth outdoors. So
From preseason stuff, I think the bike's fixed.
Yeah, I don't
from
think
some
the
of the
bike
stuff
issue.
that I've seen.
I don't know that the bike's the problem anymore. It was for a couple of years here. It really was. And now I'm like, I don't know. Now, moving on to Mookie there. Okay. I heard this. I'll fire.
Are you going to
this
say a
one
win
off.
again?
No.
'Cause for the love of God.
No.
No,
No.
boy.
Thank
I think
the Lord.
I think he's a 8 to 12 guy also, to be honest with
Oh,
you.
really?
Wow.
Dude,
Wow.
I mean, we come in every single year and we're like, Mookie could win,
I
Mookie could
don't-
win, Mookie could win. And then it's like, how many years in a row are we going to go this with, okay, don't even go win. Let's just say I'm this crazy conspiracy guy over here, because I am, that's saying he can win. Let's just go with, you guys have even agreed, right? Oh, well, he can get on the box or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And then, like, it just doesn't happen. Like, we, for some reason, and I believe here's what I'm going to coin this as. This is the James Stewart effect. Because he is a Stewart, we think he can do what James did. And because he has, like, he had some fast speed for a while there, some really like
I
blistering.
mean, you
like,
could say
holy
last year
shit
before he
speed.
got hurt at the beginning, A1, he still had some speed.
Listen, the year before that, I think you're quickly quickly forgetting he got second in the points, and the year before that, he was third in the points on the star bike.
But again, we've been oh man, he's gonna be so good, he's gonna be so good, he's gonna be so good, and then it just never pans out to like race winning. Whatever. Like for some reason it just doesn't happen, right?
Second in the points is still pretty fucking good.
And then you got dude, I'm still not convinced. I know we talk about the steel frame gang here being better. I'm still not convinced that those bikes are conducive for Craig and Mookie. Like the bike may be better, but those two, I'm just not sure, because you have two of the best whoop riders ever, essentially, in those two. And they both get hurt. Craig in the whoops. I can't remember. Did Mookie crash in the whoops too?
No, it's when he hit false neutral.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh,
so
that's
anyway.
when he did the knee?
I thought it was.
No, he rode around at her too after that.
Did he do the next round?
I think he did it in a practice
I
crash.
don't
But either way,
remember.
go on.
I meant to go back and watch all 17 rounds from last year too, but whatever. Anyway, but you have
Lot of
two of
time on
the
his
you have
hands.
two of the best whoop riders, and they can't get through the whoops last year. Okay, like that's not a coincidence. There's one common factor there: the bike. So the bike's probably better. We all agree that it looks better, seems better. But it still may not be conducive for these two styles.
I think Malcolm is a little bit harder because he puts so much energy through that bike that I think it goes the other way because that bike actually does flex too much for him. Christian remains to be seen. He's really light on the bike, but Malcolm, I don't know. I kind of like Cole said, it's kind of hard to bet against though what he did before last year when you're getting second, third, fifth, fourth in the points. Yeah, he's never going to get a win. He's just not. I never thought he was going to get a win at any point. That's why I kept saying it was crazy for people to say that he was going to get a win because I just didn't see him having the speed to do it for 20 plus
racist
1.
bastard.
I love the Stewarts. I don't. If he's healthy, he's going to be top 5 in the points. It's proven for almost, what was it, 3 years straight he was top 5 in the points?
I don't agree with that at all.
How do you figure? Outside of last year is the one outlier where it wasn't. Before that, it was almost 3 years in a row. He was top 5.
If he completed a season healthy, he was in the points.
Yeah. Like, we like to go about facts and recent history, and you take last year out of it, he was literally top 5 in the points for almost 3 years straight. With the only dude that wasn't in the class at the time is Jet Lawrence and Hunter Lawrence.
Yeah,
That was it.
like he's had these quiet good seasons, but his window is closing.
Oh, you mean as far as
If he doesn't do anything this year, he doesn't get a ride next year, right?
who's going to take his ride? Who's going to take his ride?
I don't know.
Exactly. Like no one.
Look, I haven't gone.
Yeah.
through
Everybody
all
likes
of
to
that.
talk about,
I haven't
like,
gone
these-
through all that processing yet in my brain.
Everybody
here.
likes to talk about like these guys losing rides, but like ultimately, who are you going to give his ride to? Who are you going to give his ride to that at one point could win a heat race? It's not RJ because RJ's staying on the 250. So who's it going to be? Who are you going to give it to?
RJ's got to go. If Craig takes a bow and whatever, then RJ can move up. Because I truthfully believe RJ needs to be on a 450. But
Put that man on
we're
a
talking
350.
Mookie here. Mookie, I mean, I don't know if he wins because he's had wins handed to him on a silver platter.
don't think he
he's been
wins.
out front, and again, he needs a stake, man. He needs a stake. He can't get to the end of the race because
No, you're right.
The Baker thing ain't working for him.
He's too big. He's too big of a dude to be that lean. It just doesn't fit him.
Yeah, and it just looks like he fizzes out at the end because that race A1 last year, he was out front and he should have won that.
He needs to have a little bit more weight on him. Not like the old 250 days where he was like clearly out of shape.
Yeah.
But somebody like Mookie, it's okay for him to have a little bit of extra stored fat.
Yeah. Now the last thing I will say, you made a comment about him putting a lot of weight into that bike and using it and it flexes too much. I did hear a comment from Sexton, which we'll get into a little later, but talking about how he can load that bike and it is a lot stiffer. You would think that bike would flex more due to being a steel frame.
Yeah.
But it's actually the complete opposite, that frame is so rigid that he feels like he can preload that bike way harder than he could a Honda.
I guess to clarify that, I guess I would more so say a stock version because they're probably bracing the shit out of those bikes.
Yeah.
So that might I'm not arguing with you. I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with you. That might be it. They might actually be bracing those frames. So that's where the rigidity, because I guess I could say the stock Austrian frames. So yeah, you're probably right. They're probably bracing the shit out of those bikes because,
So who knows? But those bikes, they look good. I like the look of them.
Yeah. those of you watching on the YouTube live, comment down below if you think Craig and Mookie are going to, let's just say, put it on the box even this year. So.
I think can we all agree though that they are the most conundrum factory 450 team with him and Mookie, like Craig and Mookie.
Yeah.
Two guys that at any point could get on the box or win a race or win a heat race.
Yeah.
And you just don't know if that's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Right.
I don't look at anybody else in the paddock and go, yeah, I think you have two guys that at any given time could just pull something out of their ass. So
I don't know. All right. Moving on here. Next team. Oh, boy. Here we go. This is where you and I are going to start arguing.
I mean, maybe. Probably not.
Let's go the Troy Lee Designs Gas team here. And we'll start with Bam Bam having fun.
I don't know if we're
on
going
the
to
gas.
I don't know if we're going to argue, man. I think we're probably going to see more eye to eye on that one.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
you want to start with Bam Bam here?
Yeah, let's start with Bam Bam.
Okay.
Man, just a very quiet off season for him. I know he got hurt and at LA there, broke his collarbone again. Was it the same collarbone that he had a lot of issues with?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
All I know is he had issues with it because didn't he break the plate? He rebroke the plate on
he
it.
had
I
to have
think.
like dual surgeries on it. But
He was recently in
anyway,
Italy.
quiet. If he's healthy, I think you're just going to see the same old Bam Bam. Like, it's going to be very hot sometimes and very cold others, and then thrown in the middle of it all is somebody's going to be really pissed at him.
Well, he's gonna be off that team in 2025 probably. So
Yeah, like, he's got enough money in the bank. Like, he's made good money in his career. Like, they've paid him very well, and we've all seen it. Like, he rides like shit, and then when it's time to earn a contract, he's back in action, getting paid well. So
this is what I'll say about Barsha, and I only say that because I've watched that kid for so many years. I was around him a lot as an amateur, when he was an amateur. At this point in his career, keep doing the whole vlogs and the YouTube stuff and the stuff you do with TLD and having the freedom to do that and just being more open. Have fun. Tone it down a little bit, which he has to an extent. He's toned it down a little bit.
Just own the dipshit moves.
Yeah.
Just
own
them.
it. Be who you're going to be. And then, please, for the love of God, when you're done racing over here, you get kicked off your own team, go over and do some GPs for a little bit.
That'd be cool.
And give the fans over there, because for whatever reason, the European fans love Barsha. I don't know where that comes from. Just because there's nobody else over there like him.
Because he's wacky and wild and
don't know.
crazy.
I think Jeremy Sewer is a little more of a Barsha.
Sewer's a wild child.
He's like a European Barsha.
But go over and do some GPs, man. Round out your career. I know his wife, I'm pretty sure, is from England, so like that would translate. They would, somebody would pay him some money to go over there and ride. And just continue to do what you're doing, man, because honestly, I think a lot of people for a very long time wanted to see this version of Barsha, and he was still kind of stuck in it, like, oh, I need to be like the wild child, and I need to be the...
Nailed it!
I need to be the guy that everybody hates. And
Lies, bro.
now he's just being who he really is. So
That was awesome on camera.
just...
Watching the delay on here. Sorry, I'm interrupting your point, but watching the
Oh,
delay
no.
on here, me smacking
just-
that fly.
But
awesome.
as far as results, I don't think I can really disagree with that because he's been this way for like 3 years now.
Does he win A1?
No, I mean, dude, he didn't
Does
win
he win
A1
A1 again?
He hasn't won A1 in a while.
He's
The
won
only-
he won it like 5 years in a row. I
Look,
mean.
the only way he wins A1 is if TLD brings the film crew in and they build a jump and A1 actually isn't
Pre-filming?
happening.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that was the stupidest thing
Unreal.
ever. I hope they never
Unreal.
decide to do that ever
It
again.
got so many people fired up.
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
But
All right.
do you see any podiums out of him?
No.
No, because there's 3 guys that are going to be very.
I'm gonna
hard
go.
to beat.
I'm gonna go 4 to 8. To be honest,
Consistently, or like that's like.
With you. Yeah, I think so. I think he's one of those dudes that he just is right there. Okay, well, 4 to 10.
All right, I can see that.
And if a whole bunch of people get hurt, and including like those 3-4 big hitters that we're going to talk about, okay, then he can get on the box. But I don't see him doing it if those dudes are all healthy.
Does he win a heat race?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could see that.
All right, I think he can
Without
win a
a
heat race.
problem.
I can think he
I
can win
mean,
a heat
he's Barsha. Let's face it. People freeze behind Barsha, okay? Because they just don't want any part of it. So
Yeah.
Hey, another cool thing about this is like a reoccurring theme that I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Guys laying the foundation for after racing, right?
yeah.
You can get a Bam Bam TV or a Barsha shirt at Zoomies. Do you know
What?
that? Yeah.
No
dude.
way.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
he's making.
in Kalamazoo.
I don't know if it's here in Kalamazoo, but I did see that he had a deal where some of his merch
Merchandise?
was in Zoomies.
Oh, dude, then he's making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money off of that. That's actually a pretty big deal.
Super interesting.
That's a
Who's
pretty big
his
deal.
agent?
I don't know.
I gotta find out.
Whoever his agent is,
because,
they know what they're doing. I mean,
Yes,
that's what you
they
say.
do.
Barsha is marketable, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna make money. Look, he's gonna make money as long as he wants to continue to be himself.
I think he wants to do some mountain bike racing after he's done too.
Wouldn't
I
surprise
heard
me.
he's
He talked about
an animal
that.
on a bike.
I heard he is too.
I mean, dude, cardio's never been his issue.
No.
No. Well,
Not-
you gotta
not
have
the
it
way
to ride
that guy
right?
rides,
Yeah.
hell.
No.
All right, let's move on to the other. This is the little bit more interesting thing here, and
This
I
is a very
actually
interesting
I
one.
recorded a whole video for this.
Oh, you did?
Never put it out.
Oh. Was this like recently or a couple weeks ago?
Probably like a few weeks
After
ago.
the word came down, that it
Hang on a
was for
second.
sure.
Hang on a second. I got energy drinks in the freezer, and I don't want them to explode in your freezer.
Okay, yeah, please don't.
Hey man, save me at least 2 of those.
I got one.
I
in
don't
the
think
freezer
he's.
for you.
I don't think he's gonna drink 12 of
He
them.
might.
like today.
Maybe he wants his heart to explode later.
I don't know. All right, everybody on YouTube, thank you guys for
Thank you,
continuing
thank
to
you.
watch here. We're going to go through this last guy on TLD, and then we're going to cut the live feed. But make sure to comment down below, whether it's on the live feed or the main show or anything that you see here as far as when I cut up any of this. Make sure that you guys comment if
Oh,
you
you didn't
like
need to bring me
these,
one right
if
now,
you like
bro.
these live feeds. Because like
There
I
you
said,
go.
I think we're going to do some this year. I'm not exactly sure how or when or for what, but I have some ideas to talk to these guys about after we record. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in on the live feed there. Okay, last guy on TLD Gas, and he's only going to do the first 3 rounds here. Jorge Prado, world champ, coming over riding the 111. He
On a bike that doesn't have TLD on it.
took a couple of those ones off
didn't know
his
that.
jersey.
Yeah, it took a couple off. No, it doesn't have TLD. It doesn't have TLD anywhere on the bike.
Okay, so here's my thing. I think he's going to progressively get better as the rounds go on. I have heard he's doing all right, but he kind of lacks some top-end speed on Supercross.
His whoop speed's good though.
I don't know.
Some flat, fresh test track whoops.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes. Now, you and I had heard a while ago, and I brought this up in the video I recorded that I never put out when it was confirmed he was coming, that he was using the U.S. as kind of a leverage point for his 2024 contract with Europe. However, obviously that all changed because you had Lewis Phillips break the news after Des Nations that he was coming over to
The
test for
day
2 weeks.
after.
The day after. He interviewed him at Des Nations, was like, hey, there's some news. You're coming to the U.S., right?
Yeah, I gotta play.
Yes. Obviously that went well. Obviously he wants to try this. And to be completely honest, I think he's coming next year full time.
2025.
Yeah.
2025. Yeah.
So that's super duper interesting. Now, there's going to be some guys, and like I said, this is where you and I might differ. I don't know your thoughts yet, that are going to be like, he's going to come over and do great. And I've heard plenty of people out there talk about he's going to podium. He's going to podium.
I wouldn't go that
he's
far.
not going to podium.
I wouldn't go that far.
He
That's
isn't
too
getting
much.
on the podium. I'll
That's
tell
too
you
mu-
right now.
that's too much.
He's not podium.
Yeah, that's too much.
He is.
I wouldn't go that far.
I said 12 to 15. I'm harsh, but
I'm going to go 6 to 12. I think anywhere, because he does get good starts. He yanks good starts.
And his
we all-
race IQ is
His
through the
race
roof.
IQ is pretty good. He doesn't look terrible on a Supercross track from what I've seen. And the big thing we were all looking for was whoops. And then I saw him hit the whoops, and I went, that's not bad. And from what I've heard,
Timing's there.
he's doing well, but he lacks high-end speed. So I think cardio-wise and everything, he's just going to go through the race, do the laps. Obviously, he doesn't want to get hurt racing these 3 rounds. He's here to test, essentially. So what I think is going to happen is I think he'll progressively get better as the 3 rounds go on. But I also think it's going to be like it's not there. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy.
I'm going to stand by my comments that I made when I heard this whole ordeal before it was even broken, when I told you about the rumor I had heard even before MX of Nations, and everybody was like, no. I stand by my comment. I feel like 10th at the first round,
Yep.
which obviously is A1. Second round is San Fran, right? San Fran and San
think
Diego.
so,
San
yeah,
Fran.
yeah.
San Fran, 8th.
Yep.
And then at San Diego, he gets a 5th, and that's it. And then he walks away. He goes out, and he defends his GP title no matter what happens, and he comes back here, and he's moving to the U.S. in 2025.
I've heard people be like, "Well, what do
No,
you think
he's
is
not
going to
gonna
happen
podium.
if he's in the
He-
points?" And
No,
blah?"
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
he's not
'Cause
going to be.
This was all his decision. People need to remember this. This was not gas. Like DeCarly and all them, where he's actually getting paid by. They don't care. He was like, I want to go test the waters, because years ago when he was a young kid, 16 years old on KTM, he came over here. He did the California tour when everybody was like, oh, he's going to come over to the States. This is not for him. This is just getting his feet wet, testing the waters. He doesn't have the pressure on him to do well because no matter what he's going to do it's all about that GP title, winning that GP title, backing it up. He's going to come over here, see what it's like to be under the bright lights, which I don't think is going to phase him because that kid has so much freaking confidence. The fans, people are like, oh, that might crumble him because it does to other people. I'm here to tell you, Jorge Prado doesn't get freaked out by that kind of shit. You can tell when you hear him talk.
Did you listen to the Gypsy Tales podcast with him?
Oh, I heard he threw shade at a lot of people.
But
see, here's the thing, though.
yeah.
Did he throw some at Jet?
He did. He did.
He did.
Here's the thing.
Dating his sister and then kicking her to the curb.
Here's the thing, too. You got
no, well, not that. No.
No, he talked about his undefeated season.
Yeah.
Here's the thing you got to
He
hear.
basically said if like the top 3 Euro guys were over here, he wouldn't even. How do you put it?
Oh, I can't remember. It's
I
been
can't
a while.
remember if it was
I'll
the
have to
Euros
listen
over
to it.
here or if he went over to the Euros.
It was
Like, he
probably
wouldn't
more
even-
if he came over there.
I think that's what it was.
I don't think-
It's because Jet was with his sister.
Well,
Was it really?
Here's the thing you got to remember about Prado, though. This is all you need to learn.
And this is what I've missed having you on the show is you
This
have
is-
these insider info.
This is what you just need to learn about Prado as far as the confidence thing goes. Literally, his first actual ever race in the MX2 at 16 years old, freshly 16 years old, might I add, at Assen, he would not move over for Hurlings.
He talks about that in the podcast.
Like,
which
he
is
pissed
hilarious.
off Jeffrey so bad, and Prado's like, I don't care. I don't care who you are. And then he
Yeah.
got into it with Cairoli when they were... Prado, he doesn't let pressure get to him.
I don't
This
know
kid,
a lot about him.
This kid does not... and I'm not even a Prado fan. I love watching him ride. I kind of think he's a little shithead, to be honest with you. But this is just to talk about the whole... People think, well, how's he going to do with the bright lights? Because that's like a Euro thing. People don't...
So he carries himself a lot like Jet. A shithead.
No, I think even as critical as I am about Jet sometimes, I think that he's a little bit different than people. Prado... No, I think Prado is a legit little shithead.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know much about him.
I
but-
don't think Jet is a shithead, but I think that there's a little bit more to it, but that's a different story. Prado, I fully believe is a shithead.
Okay.
But that's where I talk about in the sense of I don't think
Well, he's never coming on the show now, so that's cool.
Do you know how much money? No. But no, the last point, I don't think pressure is going to be, it's not going to get to him. He doesn't know what that word means.
Yeah.
He's got too much confidence in himself.
I don't
Whether that
think so
goes one
either.
way or another, we'll see. We don't know. Because it could hurt him, it could help him.
I'll tell you this much. So it was very interesting listening to the Gypsy Tales podcast with him because he, like you said, it was all about backing up that title over there. He openly states he does not give a shit. He did it. He won a GP title. He's done. He doesn't care.
He's just doing it because he's contracted to do it.
I mean, literally, I think if for some reason he did come over and things were going really, really well these first 3 rounds, I don't think he'd go back. To be honest
No,
with
I agree
you.
with that.
I think he'd just be like, yeah, fuck your contract.
Well, and here's the thing, too, though, is we've also heard this from a certain person in Chicagoland. Everybody in Austria loves him.
yeah.
So, like, they will give him whatever the hell he wants. Plain and simple. Like, as crazy as it is to think, Chase Sexton is the #1 Austrian rider over here.
Yeah.
Prado has more pull than
Yep.
Chase does, which is a wild, granted, Prado has a world championship, Chase doesn't, but still, it's a wild thing to think about Chase on a factory KTM, the biggest guy over here. Prado has more pull with them than Chase does.
Yeah.
So he will get what he wants.
Prado's a big deal. I mean, you got to think of the scale outside of like results too. Like, when has there ever been a 450 MXGP world champion
Current.
with the #1 plate decides I'm gonna go race Supercross? It hasn't been done,
And then them say, okay.
Yeah.
and makes it
Hurlings
work.
couldn't get away with doing it.
I mean, yeah, Hurling wanted to ride outdoors, been very vocal about it, and he hasn't done it. And this is Supercross. This isn't outdoors. There's a
No.
lot more of a risk here. And I doubt there's a correlation to this, but there might be. It's going to bring a lot more eyes.
Yep.
Oh,
There's going to be a
Spaniards.
Spanish channel.
Oh, my
Yep.
God.
I don't know if there is a correlation to that, but
And
it's going to help.
And that's a market that's like an untapped market. I mean, there's a lot of money in Spain.
That's a big market there. I mean, like, off on a tangent here, but Mr. B's putting all his videos in Spanish, and they're bigger than the U.S. channels.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, he looks good in the videos. I don't think he would have said, yes, I'm doing it if he wasn't somewhere close to AP or Sexton or any of the guys he's riding with. If he wasn't within the ballpark of those guys speed-wise,
Yeah.
I think his ego says, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't want to get embarrassed.
So, I think he looks great, but I want to see him on a rough track. I want to
Yeah.
see him dissect a rough track.
Well, and even get through a race day with the short amount of time they get.
Here's the lucky thing for him, though. He's doing it on West, so outside of a mudder, which actually he's good in the mud, different in Supercross, obviously. He might not even have to really. I mean, granted, late in the night when the moisture's coming up and it gets slick, but that's his strong suit. He's not really going to deal with a East Coast chewed up track.
Yeah.
So it's
he
going to
ain't
be a
going
lot
to Indy.
different. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to see him on a rough track. Either way, if it goes well or doesn't go well, it's pretty damn cool to have a current #1 plate holder from Europe come over and do Supercross.
Not that I think this will happen, because I don't agree with anybody that thinks he's going to get a podium. I think that's that's just not going to happen. Maybe down the line, but no, not now. But just hypothetically, can you imagine, though, what will happen, like how crazy shit would be, though, that just say for the hypotheticalness of this, A1, the main, like Jet, Eli, Chase, whoever, like they're buried in the pack or whatever, and Prado's out front. And like the way it
Some
goes
weird
well,
shit happened today.
No, but like just the craziness of all the hype around him, the #1, the GP guy, and then the top guys that are supposed to do it, they just have issues for whatever. This is a hypothetical, and he's out front. I'm here to tell you, not that he would win it, but that's going to be a really hard dude to pass.
Yeah.
If he's got some left in the tank on lap
Yep.
23 or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't think it's going to happen, but I just think the storylines that would come out of it, which is great for us because that's the whole point of our show. The storylines that would come out of that of, oh my God, Prado's out front and we have 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So that wraps up the TLD team there. We are going to take a quick break here for everybody watching this at the regular posting. So thanks for watching. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back, do all the other teams here, and talk some other stuff. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. Again, thanks everybody for tuning into that live there on YouTube. That did really appreciate that. And like I said, we'll be doing more lives here, going through the season. So, all right, jumping back into this here. Monster Cowie. You guys want to start with AC or Ando?
I'm not talking about anything.
It's the AA group. Oh, come on.
You can't even like comment about how you think they're going to do.
No. So this is funny. So, we do like a field report and stuff each week.
Okay.
And I put under marketing, I said, save all the money that you can and go after Deegan. Lock him in for 450. Monster Energy connection.
Yeah.
Also, there's some pretty cool things on the side-by-side side of the company.
And Brian's into that.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, if you can get him from Can-Am into a Kawasaki side-by-side and all that, like, you're getting the whole package. So
that's what you got to say about Kawasaki.
But you still can't comment on Ando and AC?
No, I'll comment
Title,
on Ando.
first and second
Oh my
place
God.
all year.
But no. Another interesting thing, new bike
Yep.
for the Kawasaki boys.
Yeah.
And for all of those that are kind of hating on it for being a little slower, there's nobody around here that can ride a 450 to full potential.
There's
So you
nobody in
guys
the
can-
world that can ride a
So,
400 potential. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Anderson even mentioned this like at the launch too. It's like it's not even really about the power; it's moving the power around.
Did you talk to him?
No, this was in a
Oh.
video. No, I haven't talked to those guys. I haven't seen them ever.
Lame.
Um,
What kind of Kawasaki guy are you?
Oh
not a
my
very
gosh.
good one.
Can we
man.
get an insider, please?
Yeah, not a very good one.
Where's Dan Fahey?
Look, man, I really don't know a lot about the race team side at all. Like what I do is completely separate from all that.
Yeah.
But obviously, like at company events and stuff, you do see the race team guys and stuff like that. But they're kind of on their own playing field, doing their own thing. Since that's all pretty much the marketing side of the house too. So, but yeah, the new bike, man, I think it already looks good in some of the videos. More front end feel.
Okay.
Which in Supercross, being able to cut down and do all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Videos look good. I've seen some AC heaters, some Anderson heaters, but to get into Anderson, Zach Osborne dropping some news on Pulp MX, which was kind of random, but he said Anderson is on a new training program, new trainer.
Yes.
I wonder who, but that's interesting. And with Anderson, man, he can win any given day. It just depends on his mindset. If his mindset's good coming in, he's in a good place, then yeah, he's gonna win. He's a head case in my opinion. And you could see it almost. I don't know if it's direct correlation, but Tommy Tender's Team Fried, and they're doing videos, doing the vlogs, light mood, everything was going great. soon as Tommy exits stage left, like, I get it. It's business. Like, you're going to go make more money doing something else instead of trying to sell Team Pride shirts. Like, if Racer X is paying you, go. And you could almost see the direct correlation of Anderson's results after, like, Tom was not around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like I said, I think it's all mental for him. Like, the talent's there. Everybody said he's not afraid to work hard. He's got a child now. I don't know if Team VRM's kicking in, if he's starting to get some vet rider mentality going in. So, man, he's just a huge question mark for me. Like, we all picked him for a title last year. Every single one of us sat here at this table and said he's going to win the title after the year before that. Is that guy still there? Dude, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, new bike coming in. Like, I think he's smart and knows how to test and do all that stuff. Tickle's a good asset for that side of things. But, dude, he's just a walking question mark. I think he could win, or I think he could be a 6 to 10 guy. You know what I mean?
I think if 2022 Anderson shows up, he could clearly win. Once again, you just said we all picked him for a title last year.
Yeah.
He had the speed at certain rounds, but then there were times where just in the main, like, he just didn't have it, especially, and I go back to the Houston race. Like, it was Houston. Chase and Eli just walked away from him, and he's like, yeah, I got nothing for those guys. You know, I got nothing for him. I think, and once again, this is another guy that we'll talk about with KTM. I think Ando is one of those guys that monotony doesn't work for him. And I think just doing the same thing over and over and just getting in a groove. Now, maybe the new bike switches things up mentally, like new training program, spice it up. But I think Anderson, and he's kind of always been this way. Like, he's been this way even since he was an amateur. Being on the same program with literally just the same thing day in and day out does not work for him. It doesn't work for how his brain processes life.
I agree with that. So I think there's something to that with you say with a new bike, brings a breath of fresh air back into him. You know, we might see a damn good Anderson. So
I mean, dude, if 2022 Anderson comes out, he ain't winning a title against the three guys, but he sure as shit can beat them.
Oh, he can win races.
So I just hope that guy shows up, because if not, it's literally just going to be those three guys that we're going to talk about later.
Well, if Kawasaki's saving bonus money from him not winning, to put it all in the Deegan pot.
I cannot believe that is your marketing idea. Look, just
save all the money for Hayden Deegan. Just do it.
Tell me I'm wrong, though.
I mean, you're not.
You're not wrong, I guess.
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Because, I mean, Jet's spoken for, so why not? I don't know.
And I think that, dude, he's the whole package.
Hayden? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
He's the total package. I sound like I'm a gargler now, dude.
No, I mean, you're spitting facts, I guess.
But anyway, yeah, Jason, I would love to see him up front, because when he's up front, he's a pleasure to watch ride. He's so unique.
So, with that being said, Travis, do you have anything to say on him?
Well, you know, I'm trying to look up his results from last year.
I mean, they were very up and down.
They weren't good, dude.
Did
he even get a podium last year?
I don't know. He was 6th overall in points. I'm just looking at the
standings.
I think
he got a couple podiums, man.
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
Let's go to the vault here.
Sorry,
I was looking at the wrong
thing.
He
got hurt late in the season too, didn't he?
I'll be honest. I don't think we see anything different this year than we saw last year, to be completely honest with you. Yep. I think he's going to struggle all year. Who knows what that new bike is like? I don't know. You have the most insight out of any of us, but
I haven't even ridden it.
You're a VRM, so who knows?
I think
he will be the best rider on that team, though.
Yeah, I think what Justin said, though, does give me a little bit of something to hold on to. Like, him having something different is going to be great for him, because he seems like a very creative, artistic, right-minded kind of guy.
I mean, look at his whole, like, the way he lives his life. Like,
yeah, he's very right-brained and creative and stuff. And if I know anything from living across the street from the artistic dorms in college, those people beat to a different drum.
I mean, dude, you see. So, I mean, if you want to go back to way back after he came out of amateurs, you can see what it was like when he was riding for Bobby Hewitt, doing the whole KTM thing. Or before that, I'm sorry, with Rockstar Suzuki, when it was still Rockstar Suzuki. And then KTM wins a 250 title, up and down outdoors, gets a podium. And then he moves to Husky, wins a title, and then things go up and down. Okay. And then he goes to Cowie, kills it, and then up and down. Like, you know, but I do say this about Anderson, and I think that he's even openly said this. Maybe not. I think that we don't see too much more of him, though. I think that he's only got a few more years left in him. When I say few years, I literally mean, like, I think after 2026 he's done.
Yeah, and from what I understand, he's very well off outside of this.
Oh, dude, he knows how to make money.
Yeah, with some... Dean was talking about it a little bit. He had some house in like Bel Air or somewhere right in LA, and they literally would just like party in it, and then he like flipped it and sold it. And
He's going to be fine.
So this will shock you guys. He actually got second at Anaheim 2 last year and third at Houston.
That's what I was saying. I swore he got at least 2 podiums.
Now, let's get this straight. So we go A1 7th, San Diego 7th, A2 2nd, Houston 3rd, Tampa 6th, Oakland 5th, Arlington 4th, Daytona 5th, Indianapolis 5, Detroit 9, Seattle 4th, Glendale 10th, Atlanta 21st.
That was after the kid was born, though. So
East
give him
Rutherford 12.
he was riding up front too.
Yeah.
And then Nashville 6th, and then he didn't do the last whatever round or two there. But yeah, so like I said, I see a lot of the same. If he gets on the box, doesn't surprise me. Do I think he wins races? Honestly, no.
Do you think if 2022 Anderson showed up, though, he could?
I mean, if 2022
I mean, that's a
does, but
hypothetical,
I
obviously.
don't see that happening.
No.
I'm with him. He's a head case. The surroundings around him are not what they were the first year he came into Kawasaki, and maybe if he moves over to that Triumph team next year, if they go 450 racing next year, then maybe because he's back with what's
Bobby
his nuts?
Bobby,
Bobby
something
Hewitt.
new.
Yeah, Yep. Then, but for this year, no, I don't see it. So, all right, let's talk AC here. Okay, this is going to be short and sweet.
What?
Is his arm any better?
No.
Okay, great.
That's all we need to know.
Okay, great. Same as last year then.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the few guys that did basic. I mean, what he missed
the whole
2 rounds or
season. Yeah.
something. Yeah, because he kind of was having some issues.
All right. Best finish.
But this is Team VRM, dude.
No.
He is on Team
No,
VRM.
I'm with Travis. Let's just short and sweet to the point. Each one of you, best finish of the year.
Do you think the tall seat helps with
Oh
his
my
wrist?
God, he completely. All right, best finish of the year, and then just let's move away from it because
Hold
AC.
Hold on. I want to look up his things here.
You said fifth.
Fifth.
All right, I'm gonna agree fifth.
What was his best finish last year?
I don't know.
Probably a 5th or 6th.
Fifth, fourth.
Amazingly, he got 3rd in Denver.
Oh,
I go. He's been stem selling. I'm gonna go with 2 podiums, and then much like last year.
Stem selling. Wow.
That's very
So
ambitious.
here's what I have. Like, the wrist is a question mark. He's accepted that he may not be a winner again.
Yep.
Finally,
He is already laying down the foundation for an exit strategy. He's got a podcast, kind of.
Yeah.
and he's had some pretty big guys on there already. So
That's what I'm saying. He's already.
It's not hard when you're AC. I mean, let's be real.
No, but the
That's
point
what
is
I'm
he's already
saying.
gotten big people in the motorsports world
Yeah.
and a few guys outside.
Yeah, he's
of it.
already laying a foundation down for that and doing a good job with it,
Yeah.
asking good questions. He understands what it's like to be a good
The
media member.
Sexton one was super interesting.
He got, and he's a.
Well, he had Stenhouse on too, right?
Can you and
He
yeah,
had
he had
Sten-
Ricky
he had
Stenhouse.
Ricky
I must have
Stenhouse on
missed
there.
that
They're
one.
buddies.
AC, imagine him getting Roxon on some of the stuff
Yeah.
that they've went through together, some of the things him and Villapoto have gone through
I'd
together.
honestly rather see different people outside of the moto. Like those would be good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
more like on Stenhouse, guys like that. Get those guys
yeah,
on.
he'll pull that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, he's already kind of laying the pavement for that. He'll ride this contract out and accept that he is the second-tier guy on
Yeah.
this team. And probably took a pay cut because it went in the Deegan hopper. And he's just proof that if you're a good dude and you're a good person, people are going to take a chance on you and believe in you and have you be a representative of your brand. Like, after being a little more involved with Kawasaki and kind of seeing what goes on inside corporate and how the people are there,
Yeah.
I have nothing but good things to say about the people. Like, everybody in there, in that building, is a super genuine, nice person, all with the same goal in mind, is to, be the best that you can be. Mm-hmm. And obviously want to win, but play hard too. Like, all about relationships. AC has all that. Like, if AC wasn't talented and skilled on a motorcycle, he'd still be working at Kawasaki. It's kind of how I look at it.
He's gonna be fine for the rest of his career or the rest of his life. He's fine. He's
He's
gonna
fine.
be okay.
Like, I think the money he was making when he was 12 years old all got put away and probably somewhere pretty good. So
or just all the money he was making at Pro Circuit.
yeah, just he's fine money wise. Like, it's
He'll be good.
it's just a shame that it's gotten to where it's gotten.
Yeah.
Because this is a guy that would just trade blows with Sexton as far as speed. It's
Well,
pretty
Chase
crazy.
Chase talks about he went to some race when they were on a super mini like in Ohio, and Adam beat him by like 40 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, the Super Mini thing though too. AC was at a little bit different point on the Super
Yeah,
Mini.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you're riding
it-
with Villopoto every day. on a
yeah, I mean
Baker program
it is
working
what
on
it
a
is,
Super
but it's
Mini,
it's wild, and but then Chase has a 450
I
title.
mean,
so.
I also remember seeing AC at fucking Mill Creek on a Super Mini ride Schoolboy 1 against Jordan Smith and Jarek Bolkovic and walk away from him on a Super Mini.
yeah.
So
You scared you're gonna fall off the table there?
no, I just like holding this.
yeah. No, AC has he's graduated from the school of VR,
Okay.
Virtual reality.
Vet Rider,
Oh,
We gotta get a shirt made.
Team VRM, dude. Vet Rider mentality.
do you remember Team VRM back in the day? The Yamaha.
Yeah, that's
store?
why I thought of it.
Oh,
You know who else
yeah.
I think of when I think Team VRM?
Austin Stroop.
Nick Adams.
I'm not going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Move on.
All right, moving on. Well, thank you. We appreciate the corporate talk from Kawasaki. So
Yeah, that's actually good
thank you for being on board with us.
That's actually good to hear because you've obviously there's been a lot of talk over the years about how things are at Kawasaki, and it's been contrary to what you just said.
Yeah.
So that's actually good to hear that's all that stuff is wrong.
No,
'cause-
it's like, yes, they demand results out
Yeah.
of you, but that's any good company to get to
Well,
where
yeah, of
that
course.
company's gone.
Chances
like-
Kawasaki's gonna let me test a bike
zero.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for one myself.
to try to change my
So,
mind on
zero.
Kawasaki.
No,
So,
zero.
like, yeah, everything's pretty tight knit on the race shop side of things. Like, there's not really.
I don't want to test a race bike. I just want to test a normal one. The race bike would be pointless.
Listen, I'm trying to make something happen with. So I've got my 23,
Yeah.
and I want to try to get a 24, have them both at the same time, and ride them back to back, and then like do a video on them, kind of thing.
Sweet.
23 versus 24.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy my 23 and have commitment, then
No.
Okay.
No, I don't want to.
That lasted all of 2 seconds.
Anyway,
I'm trying to get to test a Triumph here too, but we'll see.
no, I would really like to do that, and I don't know if the TCD guys listen to this, but I think it'd be cool to test some of those cone valves or WP or something on the Cowie.
Yeah,
I think
don't
that's
know.
a really interesting, like, dynamic with the Team PR,
Yeah.
or PRMX or whatever.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Is that what they're using on there? Is cone valve stuff?
Yeah, they're
from
using
TCD.
WP stuff.
Interesting.
But I did just see that picture of Carnow's bike with some TCD stuff on it, so it'd be kind of interesting to test some stuff and just see how it is, and then just give it back to them.
Oh yeah, I
Interesting.
forgot about that team having a little bit of help on that side on the suspension stuff from TCD.
Yeah. It'd be. I don't know if they listen to this or even. They do listen to this.
They
don't
do listen. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like let us rent a set of suspension for a weekend, like test it out, do a video on it, and then you can have it back. Like,
This is gonna take some coordination.
how?
I want to test it too.
Well, you got a track across the street.
All right, are we gonna move on?
Yes.
I
let's
suppose
move
we
on.
could.
Let's move on. That's Kawasaki.
We don't.
Like
know.
I said, just good people at Kawasaki.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Star Racing, Progressive, Factory Yamaha.
So I did make note of that. So
Okay,
they
great.
must be really smart with their money over at Star Yamaha. Progressive is now on board, probably to fund some of the.
Bobby Regan, dude, him and Brad Hoffman. Like, did you guys see the team shoot of like everybody lined up?
All 57 of
The
them?
fact that you have to pan out on a on a picture to get the whole team in is just ridiculous.
How about everybody else in that picture with both arms up on the handlebar, and then Styles Robertson's over there like this because he broke his collarbone?
Well, how about I thought he also messed up his wrist.
Oh, I don't know, but he's in the picture
I think he
with one
broke his
hand up.
wrist.
Styles is fucking hurt again.
Yeah, so is McAdoo. But I know I have this different team. I also find it
Is the
funny.
McAdoo thing
I just saw a
confirmed?
picture
Yeah.
of McAdoo with his chick on Instagram, and he looks fine.
He's hurt. I don't know
What
the
he
extent
hurt?
of it. I don't know. I just heard he was hurt. That's why he's going East Coast.
Who'd you hear he was hurt from? Vital?
And then Michael Lindsay.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So with the star team here, so we've got Justin Cooper,
Look,
and I'm gonna keep this going from last year because I did listen to this
go
part
ahead,
too.
because I got some points here.
Joey Savacci 2.0.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you said that.
His 1 year here on a factory 450 ride that he earned because of the title or whatever, and then next year it's going to be rough. I think it's going to be really rough.
Well, I mean, Joey's second year on a 450 was fine.
He didn't ride Cowie for 2 years, did he?
No, I'm just saying his second year riding a 450. Like, his 450 career has been pretty much fine.
I'm talking about rough getting a ride.
Oh, yeah,
period.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Not
who's he going to get boned by?
Yeah, it's a good
who?
point.
Justin Cooper?
Yeah.
Who's he going to ride for?
Star, because Tomac is going to ride to the sunset.
Yeah, who's he not?
Maybe.
So who's going to take his spot?
Maybe.
Because Coop's going to be done soon, so
Who's taking his spot?
Maybe.
This is why.
Maybe.
Answer the question.
I get what
He's
you're
taking his
I
spot.
don't know. Look,
I get what you're saying, but this is the same thing.
You're
with, like,
going on the assumption that those two are going to retire, okay? It's
coming.
We sat here last year, and Justin blabbed for 10 minutes about how Tomac was going to struggle because he was old and he raced too much in 2022.
Team BRM.
Which we all saw how that went. It was winning the title until his leg decided,
Hey,
like, fuck
I was
you.
kinda right.
No, you weren't.
Oh,
You literally
yeah.
were
No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
You literally
I'm
were
kidding.
like,
I'm kidding.
he raced too much in
No, that
2022.
check was sitting there with a signature on it, and they put it right in the shredder.
He's gonna be tired, like whatever.
Yeah, I'm
and
only
I'm
kidding.
like
I'm only
listening to
kidding.
that this morning, just dying because I'm like, bro, he was so far off on the Tomac prep. But anyway, so okay, maybe if they both retire or one of them retires, then yeah, he can maintain there. But we heard some stuff last year about I don't want to say financials of the team, but the financial dynamic of the team that might be changing.
As far as
Ownership-wise?
get into
Oh,
detail?
that's- Yeah.
Ownership wise,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how the team might turn into not 57, not the biggest team in
So Brian
motocross
Deegan
history.
is buying the team.
No, somebody
not
already
that.
on the team.
No, yeah, not that. Well,
Somebody already on the team.
look. Let's
Can
just
you guys
let's just
can,
to
listen,
put it.
Can
to
you guys
put-
talk about this or no?
We'll talk about it. So off the air,
Off the record kind of
off
thing?
the record.
Okay.
But let's just put it out there so that we're on the record of saying that as of the end of 2023,
There's changes.
we have heard rumors that there is going to be changes in the not super. It may be 2 or 3 years, but in the not super distant future, there may be ownership changes going on at the Star Racing team, which will then cut down on the amount of racers that Star Racing
Yeah, and
has.
they
So
need-
no more pay for your ride.
Yes.
They need to get rid of some of them 250s guys, man.
So anyway,
It's pay
okay,
for your
so
ride, dude.
where do you guys? I think Justin Cooper lands much in the same. So just to run through last year, he raced 1, 2, 3,
Fifth at
4,
Daytona.
5.
Dude, he was
No,
impressive.
he was 7, 7, 10, 9, 6th at
That's
Daytona.
6. Okay, whatever.
Okay, and I really think he maintains that 5 to 10th place, dude. He's very consistent and he's very good. He gets decent starts and he just rides his race, which is awesome.
VRM.
but I don't. Yeah, he's got.
No, he's got a little bit to go before he's a VRM.
No, he's got a VRM mentality
He's
right
got
now.
a VRM race mentality.
Yeah. So, but
And a rich girlfriend.
what?
We're not going to
Why?
We're
get
not
that.
getting into that. Well, there's some things we can tell you about that off the air too.
Oh, boy.
We're not getting
We
into
had
that.
all sorts of info here. But
not-
anyway,
Wow, so this 3-hour conversation,
there was a long conversation
Okay.
had at multiple
Yeah.
places last year
Let's not talk
with
about
lots of info.
wow, I've been out of the loop a
Yes,
little
you
while.
have.
But
You can
anyway,
show for the show once in a while in the summer.
I think Justin Cooper will be sneaky good.
Mm-hmm.
You look at some of the star videos and stuff, and Coop doesn't seem to really have anything for him.
Yep.
Um,
We're gonna get to him in a second.
yeah, but I think he's a consistent top 10 guy, and that's really all you can ask for your rookie season on a 450 full season. I think he gets through the full season because he has that VRM, at least in the race mode. He isn't that guy that's going to put his balls on the crossbar pad. He's going to ride within his limits,
Yep.
and I think he gets through the whole season.
I think so,
and,
too.
at the end of the year when guys start dropping down, I could even see him maybe on the podium. I don't know.
6 to 10, both Supercross outdoors all year.
Yep. Okay. Great. Cool. Super. Moving on.
Yeah, well, that's Justin Cooper. I think he.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Like I
not much
said-
to say about him. He's just that's who he is.
I think he's going to be the new Brock Tickle.
Maybe.
Like cheese pizza. Not great, not terrible.
It's a good comparison.
Can we make a T-shirt that just says Justin Cooper's cheese pizza?
And then just have a picture of Jay Coop's face on it.
Like his face on the pepperoni.
Yes. All right. So let's talk Cooper Webb here. And
Thick boy.
I will fire this off here.
Thick boy Webb is back in
His
season.
career is over. I don't think he's going to do anything. And there's been a lot of talk about like, oh, well, you can't count Paris and everything. I'm not even talking about Paris. I'm talking about I watched a guy who took all summer off, switched brands to go back to a bike that he said he loved, all this crap, whatever, and then just got completely obliterated at SMX. I don't see him doing anything. He doesn't have the high-end speed to stick with these guys. Tomac, Hunter,
doesn't. He
Jet.
doesn't have the high-end
He
speed.
doesn't have the high-end speed. He may get a start and be up there, and his racecraft is very good. We've all seen this. But Jet and Hunter's racecraft does not suck like Kenny. So he isn't going to, and he can't play head games with them. Like, first off, okay, Jet is still a kid, and so there's a possibility of some brain things going on, but Jet's brain works
No,
really.
you know what? And I'm
Jet's
going to
bra-
keep beating this. We'll get to it. Go ahead.
Jet's brain works really well, but guys like Hunter, he can't play the brain games with like he could with Kenny and things like he just he can't. It's not going to happen. Hunter is more mentally sound than that. So is Tomac. Because Tomac just doesn't give a shit. But whatever. I don't know, man. In my opinion, I think he runs in the top 10 all year, but I don't think we see him do any. I think he's irrelevant.
You know the wild thing is, before or when he got hurt last year, when his fucking head almost got exploded,
Yeah.
he was what, second in the points?
He would have won the title, I think.
Go up.
He was second in the points. If he wasn't second, he was a close third.
He was second.
That's the crazy thing to think about with Coop is, like, we talk about all this and the ridiculousness of his, end of 2023 was, but the night that he got hurt, he was in the title chase mathematically.
He what? No, he.
That's the wild thing to think about is like we say all this, and I'm going to say I don't disagree with you at all. But the wild thing to think is what, 7 months ago, this man, had he not almost had his head disconnected from his neck, he would have won the title last year only because obviously Eli got hurt, but he was ahead of Chase.
This is where we run into recency bias, because then you go back and look at the results here. And,
you're not wrong.
And now I feel stupid about this, about what I just said, but at the same time, I don't. I fully believe.
But you have to take it. You have to compartmentalize everything you see.
Are
but
you
you're not wrong.
Are you ready for these results though?
They weren't good. They weren't good.
2, 2, 4, 5, 1.
Oh, you're talking
2,
about yeah.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 4, 5.
Who was this?
Cooper.
The Supercross
Webb.
season.
That was last year?
That was last year's
2023.
SX 2023.
A lot of twos in there.
He would have been
fucking believable.
If he would have been there the night that Eli got hurt, he would be our 2023
Yeah, he
Supercross
would be.
champion.
But then you go to SMX 873.
That is the wildest
Yeah,
thing.
but
That is
you're also he went from 8th to 7th, 10th to 3rd. But
that is just the wild thing to think about with him is the fact that 7 months ago, had this man not had his head run over, he would be the 2023 Supercross champ.
It makes me sound super stupid
No,
with what I just said.
You have to look at it.
Man,
You have to look at
dude.
it in the vacuum of what we've seen. Another wild thing to think though is how up and down Paris was. He was on the board in Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Something that if you would have told me he would have had Super Bowl over Jet, Hunter, and Kenny, I'd be like, even for a night, I'd be like, no way.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I think it all depends on if the fire is still there to win. And if he has that fire, he's going to figure it out. Yes, he does look a little thicker, but a guy that's built that way,
Phil said on Pulp the other day that he's shaving it already.
Let me ask you though, where
so
does his motivation come
that's
from at this
exactly-
point? That's my biggest question with him.
I think his motivation is-
dumbasses like us talking.
no, I think it's like I'm going back to Star because I wanted to, and people don't think I'm going to win, and people are calling me fat. People are saying that fat shaming.
I mean, the thing is that everybody's talking. Like, this is not a us thing talking about thick. All the podcasts I listen to are like, yeah, he was thick.
I think Coop, to
in
me,
Paris.
the biggest thing with him is he has to have motivation because I think Coop is a very he draws his strength from negative.
He's got to take that shit
For
personally.
negativity, and that's how he won his 2 Supercross titles because, okay, man, they're like, oh, like, that was a down year for Eli, and, like, nobody really saw it coming, and nobody really expected it, and, like, Kenny, you got in his head, and then we go to 2021, and it was like, oh, well, Eli's exiting Cowie and all this kind of shit, and it's a negativity thing, and I think that's where he draws his motivation from. Mm-hmm. What is his motivation for 2024 and beyond? And I'll tell you
I'll be
this.
completely honest. I think it's all a stick. I think he is. I will say, mentality-wise, he is very, very much like Michael Jordan, and I think he'll draw his chip on his shoulder from anywhere. Like,
if he has that
He
motivation,
can find something.
like
if he
somebody will
has it-
send him a fucking audio clip when I clip this and say and title it that Cooper Webb will be irrelevant in 2024. And he doesn't fucking know us from a fucking hole in the ground, nor does he really care. But he'll take that, fucking put it in here, and be like, ah.
if he can draw motivation that way, I'll tell you this. Coop will be that guy he was 2023 before he got hurt.
Yeah.
But if he can't draw motivation from anything and really dig deep, it's going to be a struggle bus year.
And the thing is that like part of last year, and we've heard that it was very bad over there at KTM. Very bad. He was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
From what
Just
I've heard.
the facts are, he would have been your 2023 champ. If he would have been there
if
the
he
night.
would have not
So-
got hurt.
yeah, I mean, I put him
wasn't
in
even
the
his
title
fault.
conversation at this point because you can't count the man out.
No.
He might not have the raw speed to go,
but he's never needed it to.
He's never needed it, and even just watching videos, again, like little things you can see in like the Dean Wilson Star video. Yes, I said he didn't really have anything for Justin Cooper, but if you watch Dean's GoPro, you can see him like cut this line that's like not even there.
Yeah.
And he started working that in the beginning of the moto.
Yep.
And by the end of the moto, guess who was taking that because he saw it develop?
Dino.
Dean.
Yep.
But he was already had it broken in, and Clinton Fowler made this point, and it's a very good one, is Coop will run, I don't know, maybe a 52, a 53 or something first half of the race. And then all the other guys will be running the main line, running like 50s or whatever. And they'll keep running that line and go back to a 53, where Coop's 53 with those lines will turn into that 50. In that second half of the race, as the lines are breaking in, he does become the faster guy.
Yeah.
Coop is literally doesn't ride the same, but is on that note, just the way he connects the track throughout a race. He's K-Dub. He's the new version of K-Dub. Like, he's never going to be the fastest guy.
Nope.
But he's always going to be the guy that's there at the end, and you go, how in the hell did I not drop this dude? Oh, yeah, by the way, it's because he's using half the energy I am at the end of this race.
There's a video that he released, or that he put out, where he was going into the corner, and this reminded me of KTM Coop. Like, he was very front-end dependent with that bike. Knife, turn, get through the corner. And on that bike, going in, standing it up on the front wheel.
He did it at Paris.
Like, that's kind of dangerous if he can get that bike turning down.
Oh, and the one
doing
thing I
whatever he
will,
can do.
the one thing I will say about Paris, though, the only thing I took away from that was good for him, it wasn't so much ending Paris, but at the beginning of it, his whoop speed was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can really take a lot from Paris.
No, I don't either.
No.
I don't ever take a lot. And I said this to him because we were talking about Kenny with the way Paris was for Kenny up and down. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, we also watched Marv in 2017 going in 2018 annihilate everybody in the off races, and look how 2018 went for him.
Well, and I mean, if you watched the first night only, you would think, oh, fuck, Jet's going to just dominate
Yeah.
everyone. I mean, like, there's no. So,
No.
all right, let's move on here. Let's talk Eli Tomac. You guys talk that. I got to go pee again.
Tomac is definitely a title contender. He is driving the ship for Team VRM, Vet Rider mentality. He, like, if this mentality of Eli would have been in his early years at Kawasaki, he would have been unstoppable. Where he was okay with getting the fourths and fifths, and look where that got him. He had a check on the table for a championship bonus with his name on it, ready to go, until something you can't ever even plan happened. He's gonna be in the mix. The raw speed will be there.
It was last year.
The fitness is obviously there. The new bike we were worried about. Obviously, we're not worried about that.
Not an
issue. He's gonna be there. Now, it just depends on the long game, because he's got another guy that, yes, maybe he is young, but even though Jet Lawrence is the age that he is, kind of has that same mentality. So it's gonna be a long all-season chess game between those two, I believe.
I fully believe that if that Achilles tendon is fine, and I said this to Wyman, I was like, I think we're going to know real quick at A1. Like, usually we can't put a lot of on A1, but we're going to find out right quick in a hurry the first heat race that Eli's in, whether it's Heat 1 or Heat 2, if that Achilles good and he can go. If that Eli shows up, it's going to be a long season for both Jet and Chase and everybody else, because Eli, and we talked about this the last couple of years, his titles and stuff. Like, he was really good at the beginning of the season, and then, like, where was his speed really, because he had such a big gap? Dude, last year, halfway in the season, let's be real, Eli was mailing in a lot of those races where we're like, what the hell is he doing? Like, what is he just, like, is it finally happening? Is he finally just hit his peak or hit his wall?
And then come out the next week.
And I go back to this, and I'm so glad this race happened, because now it's going to be a reference point for how much ever longer Eli decides to ride. Houston. What was Chase Sexton doing all day that weekend? He was 2 seconds a lap faster.
Is that the one where he kicked his ass in the heat race?
Yeah, he was 2 seconds faster all day long, and we sat up here, and we all said the same thing. We were watching that going, holy shit, Chase figured it out. Like, he finally unlocked it. Like, now it's all going to happen. And what did Eli do in the main? He gets out in front of Chase and just walks away from him. Mm-hmm. Like, the whole speed thing. And it was because Eli was just playing the game, the long game throughout that night. He waited till the track broke down. He had some different lines figured out. Chase was really good in the whoops, as he always is. And the whole VRM, however you want to talk about it, Eli figured it out. I'm here to tell you, if Eli's Achilles is fine and that is not an issue, I feel like a lot of these boys are in trouble, because I said this to him when we were talking about this whole thing, what Eli's going to show up. And I said, if Eli's just coming back to prove that, hey, this was my title, I lost it only because I got hurt, and now I'm just going to kind of finish because I don't want my legacy, even though he doesn't have dick to prove to anybody at this point in his career.
Right.
It was just because I got hurt. Then Eli's just going to be a 3rd to 5th place guy. But if Eli's coming back to prove a point in the sense that, oh no, like the big dog is still here. And
The
then
big dog is still
and
eating.
we talk about Jet and Chase and this new generation come in and him still trying to prove that the old generation is still better, which from some of his comments, the little bit of comments he made with the Dirt Shark video that they did with Hayden at his house, and just some of the little things he said makes me believe that it's the latter. He's coming back to prove a point that he still is the big dog. I know Jet and Chase are amazing. They're the new guard. They're going to win a whole lot of championships. But I'm here to tell you, I still put my money on Eli Tomac.
And
Because he's proven something that neither of them, even though Jet just went 22-0 outdoors, he's proven something that they haven't yet, and that's that he can do it through a full season consistently over and over on a 450.
I mean, he's in the big 5.
And Eli has
year.
also learned from the winning everything and still having one bad race and just ruining it.
Yeah.
Like, he's been there. And some of the other guys we'll talk about haven't been there. They don't know how to lose like that. So
No, Jet hasn't lost yet. Jet doesn't know how to lose because
Exactly.
he's won his whole entire career.
Yeah, and we'll get to him, but I want to piggyback off like the Deegan thing, the video.
Yeah.
I think that is a low-key power move for Tomac. Like, it's invites that kid up there.
I thought Hayden was the one that went out there and he had to get permission to go ride.
but
I don't know if any of us will ever know. Either way,
but who asked you? But either way,
I agree with what you're saying.
Like, that tells me that Tomac wants to kind of know where he's at. He wants something to chase after, and that means like that he still wants to win. The motivation level's there to pluck a guy out of the 250 class and have somebody come to your farm and kind of see what you're doing, but also have somebody to chase after, which means that the motivation's there, I think, in my opinion.
Which to me, why I say that if the motivation is there, it's not just to prove like this
I
is not
think
my
it's-
legacy. I'm still picking him just because out of all these dudes, and it's not fair to Jet and Chase because they're still early in his career, Eli is at this point the greatest. He's the greatest guy riding a dirt bike as far as a racer on the planet Earth.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take into consideration his last full healthy year. Or, I mean, even if the Achilles didn't go out, you got to think he won the Supercross title, he won the outdoor title, he won Motocross of Nations, and then he was on the way to keeping the streak alive and winning another Supercross title. Like, that's unheard of in this era.
Think about how many titles this man has won since 2017.
Yeah, in this era, that's some Carmichael type shit.
It is. Oh, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
Oh.
we talked about this last year. It's funny how he went from holy shit, he's never gonna win a Supercross title to like a few years later, all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's one of the greats. Like the amount of wins, the amount of titles, all that stuff. Here's the thing: is I don't. Unless something happens this year, he gets hurt again. I don't think this is his last year either.
No, and
I think he's going to keep going because
and
I think he's having a good time riding his
And
bike.
I actually fully believe that if Supercross goes well, even if he doesn't win the title, but he's there all the way to the end, I think he rides outdoors even.
That'll be interesting. I don't
see Eli not riding outdoors.
I was going to say,
he likes to suffer.
I think he wants to.
He does.
I think he wants to win another one outdoors. So that's why I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I could see being like,
I also think he wants to win another Motocross of Nations.
So, do you guys think the SMX crown weighs on Tomac at all, or is he kind of like,
No.
okay, this is
This
is the changing of the industry? Like,
No.
in the future, SMX is going to be the thing to look at. But is he still like old enough to where it doesn't matter to him?
He's built for that shit.
I'll be really honest with you. The SMX title is kind of like the World Supercross thing. Like, they're trying to push it as like this big thing, but it's not going to be like, you're going to have to build some rapport with it, okay? And I understand that they went after it last year of trying to make it a thing or whatever, but no one. I mean, dude, even Sexton the other night on Pulp was talking like, oh, yeah, like, I want to win a motocross and supercross title. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, and an SMX one. Like, I don't think anybody now cares about it that much.
That's what
But
I'm
I
saying.
think
Like,
if
Hey,
he has
Deegan
a
cares
younger-
about it.
No, I don't think even he does.
like the younger generation coming up is going to think about
No,
it. Like your
Yeah.
Beaumaires, your Julian Beaumaires, your Base Flugs.
I think starting with we'll call it
Deegan.
like Deegan, yeah. That from there on generations, that's going to be the big thing. I think everybody that's already been established, I don't think so.
I think the only thing Eli cares about, even thinks about as far as SMX is concerned, is the fact that he gets to ride a hybrid track.
Yeah.
Because I look at where Chicagoland was, and I go, Oh, Eli would have had a
He would've
fucking,
killed
he would
everyone.
have had a fucking
Just
field day on a
fucking
track like that.
Destroyed everybody.
And that's what I mean. For him, I don't think the championship matters. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I agree with you guys. I think it's more, I get to ride a hybrid track? Because we all saw how he was at Monster Cup. So
Well,
I'm
I
not
think-
comparing the two, but I'm just saying a
I
hybrid.
mean,
think-
AC did beat him in that Monster Cup, but
I think I think as long as the money stays the same too,
Yeah.
I think no matter how much money you have, like another $1 million, especially in this industry, because it's not like you become like a billionaire or anything. I think that plays a factor in
Yeah.
it too. So, all right, moving on here. Honda HRC. You guys want to start with Jet or Honda? Because we got two
let's go
450 rookies
Let's
here.
go Hunter.
hang on. I'm going to start with just HRC Honda in general.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
okay.
Dude, on top of the world, like, can you imagine being a part of that organization right now?
Oh,
You imagine Chance Hymas
crazy.
going, I have all the opportunity in the world, and I'm just starting my career.
So, I would like to make a motion
oh boy.
that we change the name of HRC Honda to HRCL Honda because whatever the Lawrences ask for, they get. That is their team.
I'm still on the conspiracy train that they're going to leave and go to Ducati because Ducati's going to pay them an ungodly amount of money.
You think so?
Yep.
I've never been on board with that, but
I
I
think
get
What
what
kind
you're
of
saying.
money do you think Ducati is bringing?
So I think next
lot.
I think next year they're going to pay Roxon an easy $2 to $3 million to ride for them when they premiere the bike.
God, that's a big amount. Like Villapoto is only getting $2 million.
They have
only.
They have Lamborghini money, bro. So I think they're going to pay Roxon $2 to $3 million next year to ride that bike to premiere it, and then I think the following year when the Lawrence brothers contracts up, so 2026.
Hang on, you think Lamborghini money, Ducati money is more than Honda money?
Yes.
Even on the car side of things, if they bring budget in from that side.
That side, I don't know.
But yeah,
Honda
but they
is
don't they don't mix that.
Honda as a whole is a way bigger company than Ducati ever thought of.
Yes.
Kawasaki as a whole is a way bigger company than Ducati ever
I think
thought of.
Volkswagen's bigger than both of them.
And Volkswagen
Because you got to
owns-
remember, Volkswagen owns Lamborghini, Bugatti, Audi, and then Lamborghini
All the German
owns
companies.
Ducati.
So Ducati is owned by Volkswagen.
Yes, so technically, if you run it all the way back, Ducati
Yeah,
is
they
a
got some money.
subsidiary of
Then.
Volkswagen.
They got some money to throw.
Yeah, so
Depends on how much money Honda wants to throw.
so
I don't
yeah,
know.
so we'll go there. Honda's
Hey, you know who's winning in all this?
the Lawrence brothers.
Lucas Myrtle.
Oh yeah. But anyway, yeah. But so I think they pay Roxon $2-3 million next year to premiere that bike in 25, and then I believe in 26 they sign both Lawrence brothers to huge deals. I'm talking $5 million plus a piece.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that. But I
A
get it.
year?
Yeah.
I'm not on board with that. At
I
all.
don't know about all that, but it'd be interesting. I wish the sport would be more transparent about numbers, but
All right, let's start talking. Let's go with Hunter.
Oh, we'll
let's
find
go with
out.
Hunter
Don't you
first.
worry. Okay, so Hunter, top 5 guy all year.
so
Better in Supercross or better in outdoors?
I don't know.
I think with Hunter, I think Hunter will be battling all season with Justin Cooper, kind of in that area.
That's where you think he's gonna fall, huh?
I think him and Cooper will go at it, maybe slightly better. For the sake of racing and being a fan, I hope he is a step up and can battle with his brother Jet, because as a fan, the storyline of brother versus brother, like how's it going to go into the last corner, like all the suspense and build up around that. For the sake of a fan, I hope that happens. I hope he is slightly better than the Justin Cooper kind of thing. And in the end of it, it's just going to make Myrtle's wallet fatter. But Paris, I really wasn't surprised at Paris. People were like, "Oh my God, he's hauling." But I watched that first press day video, and he passed the eye test for me. It was just like, man,
Yeah.
he looks almost better than Jet did. So, as of right now, I see him in that Cooper area. I honestly believe that he could prove me wrong and be better than that. But these guys both are on the VRM bandwagon the way they ride. Like, if something goes wrong, Hunter is still just going to put in his laps consistently and get to wherever he needs to be on that night.
Did you watch the Red Bull video with him, Jet, and Jace the other day, where they're competing? I can't remember what.
Yeah,
it's
Hunter
called.
kicked Jet's ass and everything. So, I don't know. I think he'll be a lot better than what people expect.
He was a lot better in Paris than what I thought he would be.
So I really
that's
wasn't
what
super
makes me
surprised.
think he's going to be better. That's what improved, because otherwise I would agree with you. I would say, a 6 to 9 guy going into the year. But after
Paris holds no weight for me.
Paris, but it's not a lot of weight. It's just okay, he can actually, because Paris now has grown into a legit enough track that it's like, okay, they're racing Supercross there. Like, it's not some of these scale, it's not like, the WSX round in Abu Dhabi or whatever, where it's like, oh, that's like an arena cross track or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like a legit Supercross track. And how he raced over both nights against his brother and Ken and everything, I'm just like, whew, okay, that's much better than anticipated in my mind. In my mind, I thought, okay, he'll be good, but I could have seen him being very much more, say, a Webb-ish person in Paris there. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was not, he could run the pace, he could stick with those guys. He, his racecraft's super fucking good. I went, okay, all right, well, he's going to be slightly better than anticipated. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have the bet going on with Coach Rob that Jet is going to be better than Hunter by the end of the season. That was a stupid bet on Coach Rob's part, but whatever. Love you, Coach, but you're an idiot.
Bang,
but
bang.
he's very high on Hunter, or he was much higher when I made that bet. But anyway, but I see him being a top 5. Like, so there's, in my mind, there's a big 5 for the year. Okay, you've got Jet and Hunter, Eli, Webb, and Chase. Those are your big 5. Those aren't your big 5?
Say that again.
Big 5. Jet and Hunter, Eli, Chase, and Webb.
Who's he missing?
Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm taking Kenny over Webb at this point.
Every round?
Yeah.
All year?
Yeah.
All right, so let me get into Hunter.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
fine. Call it a big 6. Put Kenny in there too.
I don't think
That's
there's
fine.
a big 6. I don't think there's even a big 5, to be honest with you. But
The big 6 with the big sticks.
I think there's a big 3, and then there's everyone else.
Okay.
As far as Hunter goes, I don't disagree with anything you guys said. The only thing that I am worried about, and it's crazy to think because we're coming off of 2 titles on 250s, is what's it going to be like when things aren't going right? Where is his mental? Because we've said this, and once again,
With Hunter?
yeah. Before this year, which maybe this is the point where it's just not a thing anymore. He just did win 2 titles, and he was in a battle at the end of Outdoors 250s. Granted, some things happened for that battle to happen, but he was in a battle. Hunter's biggest thing was, what was his mental side of things when things were going wrong? What is he going to be like when the nights where, let's just face it, we know there's nights where he's just not going to be fast enough to be top 5.
I think he's going to be fine.
Or that's my question mark is, or what's it going to happen to when Barsha decides to be Barsha and fucking tee him up in a corner and rattle his cage a little bit? Because we all saw, even though Hunter took care of it real quick, him and Thrasher last year. Faulkner. So agree with everything you guys said. Totally. No, I don't disagree with either one of you guys' points at all. My biggest thing is, what's his mental side going to be when things aren't going right? Because don't get it twisted. At some point this year,
What about
things aren't going to go right?
What about the SMX rounds with him? Because obviously that first round didn't go good for him or Jet. I agree with what you're saying, but it didn't go well. But then he bounces back in Chicago and
but he didn't. But ultimately,
rides super well.
Ultimately, it didn't matter though, because look what happened in.
I understand,
no,
but I'm just saying, like you're talking like what happens when things don't go well.
But that's in the 250s though.
Charlotte didn't fucking go well at all.
This is 250s though.
He bounced back in Chicago.
That's 250s though. It's not. We're dealing with a whole different thing.
I understand. Yeah.
So agree with both you guys' points. Literally 100%. I don't disagree with anything either you guys said. My just question mark is mental side. If you tell me mentally he's fine, it's gonna be like 250s, top 5 all year long.
I think he's been in the trenches enough in his career to where he can, as long as he's not hurt and broken and does have a bad night, bouncing back won't be a big.
But it's been a few years now though since he's not been used to winning or being the one of the guys. Even when Jet was whooping his ass in 2021 and J-Mart was beating him, he was still known as a title threat.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a title threat this year. He's not even probably going to be a title threat next year.
But I think he knows that.
I
think he's comfortable enough with himself.
Do you?
And I think both of those boys have enough vets around them to give them the mentality.
Yeah.
Both of these guys, I think, are more mature beyond their years as far as like being grounded. I think the people around them are like keep them grounded.
That's my only question mark. Yeah. I don't question because I like Hunter. I don't have any question mark as far as his skill and his determination and his talent on the bike and his race IQ. It's just mentally, what's it going to be like for him when things aren't going right?
Yeah.
Where's he going to be? And if you tell me it's going to be like this year, 2023, where he won 250 titles, I'm like, okay, he's fine. He's going to be top 5 all year, and there's not going to be a question mark. But what's it going to be like when things go wrong, and if he just shows up, we're good.
I think he'll be able to bounce back.
And I hope you're right. I hope you're right,
Yep.
because I do want to see him and Jet mix it up. I do
Yeah.
want to see him and Chase get into it. So,
Okay. Let's move on to Jet here.
Jet.
First off, let me just say,
Rookie-
Jet.
So,
oh boy.
how crazy is this to think about? Wrap your head around this. A rookie
Okay.
yeah.
coming in. Have we ever had a guy this hyped in coming in?
450s?
Yeah.
Stu.
Stu.
Was this hyped?
Stu was more hyped than
Yeah.
this.
Just came off a rookie 24-0 season.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, no, but
22-0, but
No.
people literally thought Stu, and because I was a big Stu fan, and I was
was going to whoop Carmichael.
was going to beat Carmichael and all this.
Even I know this.
Yeah, like Stu,
Stu on that
Pastrana.
125 was insane.
Pastrana. I mean, yeah, like this is not taking anything away from Jet. Just to answer your question, yeah, I mean, we definitely had guys. We don't have any guy coming off an undefeated season outdoors. Going
This is
into
the
Supercross.
strangest thing, yeah, because he's
That's the strange
coming
part.
off an undefeated 450
So that's
outdoor
why I
title.
don't say,
Well,
okay, he's
okay.
a rookie, but he's a rookie in Supercross. He's not
Yeah.
a rookie on a 450.
So here's where I'll go. I'm just going to flip the script a little bit on what Justin just said. I think the bounce back and the losing and figuring out how to lose needs to go Jet's direction. How is he going to bounce back when he has a shitty night?
We are fine. First off, we're not going to lose. We're going 17-0, baby. That's the first thing. Let's just go there.
All right, we're done with him.
I'm going to make a point right now that anytime he spews this dumb stuff, I'm just not even going to acknowledge it.
I'm going to say we're going to go 17-0 until we lose.
Listen, Jet is very...
And if that's at the first round, then I'll stop after A1. But if he wins A1, then you guys are fucked. Because until he loses, we're going 17-0.
Look,
Oh boy, here we go. Big yawns
no,
already.
no. Both of these guys are wise beyond their years as far as the racing goes. I think they play chess instead of checkers, both of them. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty crazy to think of when they're that age. So they've got that going for them. My biggest thing is just what's it going to be like when Jet loses, and what's it going to be like when he gets a bad start, because he has a target on his back. He's got some arrogance he's carrying with him now. A little bit of cockiness, a little bit of swagger.
We've got 2 450 titles already. We're doing well.
If you want to count the SMX title as a title now, I guess that's what we're doing.
It's in the books.
If he's coming through the pack and Barsha looks over his shoulder and sees Jet, he ain't laying up.
If you're anybody in Barsha, it could be me, and Barsha would take me
Okay,
out.
poor example then.
Barsha would take me out,
Okay.
passing me on the third time he's lapping me.
Anderson.
Poor example. Anderson
Anderson.
looks over his shoulder and sees
I mean,
Jet.
Anderson already did it to him in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Not letting him by.
No.
These guys all see Jet in the rearview mirror, and they want to try that much harder, not let that dude by. Just because I think all the riders get this, and Kenny even kind of got it, but they just get this feeling that Jet thinks he's so much better than all those guys, and just kind of walks around with that arrogance.
Yep.
And that pisses him off.
The problem is he is, okay?
He's not so much better than all.
You go back to, and again,
Is he so much better than Tomac? No.
I think Sexton can run
Stop.
with him
Okay.
speed-wise.
I'm not going to try to
Jet-
contradict myself, but he's not so much better than Tomac.
Jet does okay, so
I think
You
so we'll
doing stuff on a bike that's not what we're talking about.
So we'll go back
I
to
think Sexton can run with him, but
He
we'll
already
get
has
there.
proven he can.
All right,
we'll get there.
All right, you do let me know when it's my turn to talk.
I can't believe I'm at the point that as much as I've been an Eli Tomac opposite person, that I'm defending him in the sense, but for you to say that Jet is so much better than Eli is the biggest disgrace to Eli, because Jet is not on the Mount Rushmore yet. Could he one day? Of course, he probably will.
But
Eli's
not yet.
already done shit that Jet can't. Jet is aspiring to do what Eli is. Eli has been the best dirt bike racer in the world for how many years in a row now? Jet has one perfect season outdoors on a 450. Fucking awesome. He killed it. He was clearly best.
Eli Tomac can't even imagine going 24 now. I heard it in an interview.
But I ask you this question again.
So who's really
when
looking
we
up to who
When we
here?
were talking about this in Chicago, we were talking about this on the way back from Chicago. Jet is doing it in a different way that we've never seen. He's using his brain more. He's so fluid on the bike. He's
Vet rider mentality.
Yeah. I ask you
The vet rider mentality, but here's the
I ask
problem.
you this. Hold
He
on.
is- okay.
Could you ever see Jet going 2015 Eli Tomac speed? No. Jet doesn't ride like Eli. If Eli Tomac from 2015 showed up in 2023 outdoors, and the guy that rode before he got hurt and lawn darted himself in the ground of Thunder Valley, Jet would get beat by 35 seconds.
Yep.
So that's why I say that Jet is so much better than Eli.
But Jet would win the last 18 motos.
If you can say, if you want to say that Jet is better than Chase, cool. He just proved it for an entire summer.
Yeah.
Jet has not proven that he's better than Eli.
Not yet.
So he's not better than Eli. And he's got to win a fuck ton more titles to even be in that realm. He's got one. How many does Eli have?
He's got 2.
No, I'm talking about 450 titles.
He's got 2.
He's got way more than 2 450
He's got
titles.
three in a row outdoor.
I'm talking about Jet's got 2. So
Jets has 1.
He's
You
got
literally
2?
just said the SMX shit doesn't count. And nobody cares
okay,
about
but
it.
now I need
So
it
now
for
you're
my points.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm
Okay.
gonna say 2. All right, look.
You
here's
fucking
the,
liberal.
Here's the thing, okay?
Hang on, he wants to talk.
Yeah, I want to
Hang
talk.
on, he wants to talk.
Let me fucking
All right, go.
speak.
All right, go
here.
ahead.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Fuck you guys. All right. So here we go. So here's the thing. All right. He look. Oh my god.
Just go ahead. Go ahead.
So I had heard last year on, and again, this is because I listened to too much shit. I had heard last year on one of AJ's podcasts talking about you guys are never gonna believe the shit that Jet does on a bike.
Yep, heard this.
On the practice track or whatever. He's like, dude, he's scrubbing things in a rhythm section that you shouldn't scrub. Like it's unreal. Like the amount. And I heard that and I was like, okay, this is great, like awesome. And I talked about it, but until I saw it at LA, I didn't really think it. But when I saw him at LA do that, whatever the fuck it was, 4 on, 5 on, whatever,
That was
and
very
he was
Stu-esque.
and he was 20 feet lower than what anybody else was going through there, I went, holy shit, this is what AJ was talking about. And then you watched him do, at 1.2, he did the triple and was, I don't even know how much lower than everybody else. So when you watch him do stuff like that, okay, and he has the vet rider mentality. The thing is, he has the vet rider mentality, yet he could still do this stuff that he is so much faster than everyone else that it's unreal.
There was a
I
guy
also
at that
watched
LA
Chase.
race.
I also watched Chase before he hit the ground walk away from him.
I mean, Chase was beating him.
And
Yeah.
Jet even said, this is from the horse's mouth, because you brought it up. Jet even went back to the truck and goes, outside of going onto the table, he asked Chase, where are you making up time, dude?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. And Chase goes, oh, there's places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then we watch Chase literally walk away from Jet.
I will say
So,
this
like-
is one thing that I think that Jet has to work on in his Supercross skills, because outdoors, obviously, we were
Yes.
perfect. I think he needs to improve corner speed.
So
I
this is
think
why I believe.
if you get him where he has corner speed that makes us go, oh shit, which I don't know that I've ever seen out of Jet. Jet's always fast, but I don't know that even myself that I've ever seen Jet do corner speed like Deegan in Houston there, where we all went, holy
You mean where
fucking
it's
shit.
horizontal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he literally had the forks bottomed out.
I've seen J-Mart do some shit like that, but I've never seen Jet.
it from Jet. But if Jet, I mean, obviously they're all smart down there, and if they know that and he works on that and he gets to that point, then they're really, really in trouble. But I still think they're in trouble because I think he can go the speed. Like, he is... We all watched Tomac last year with Chase, okay? So, and Tomac obviously didn't have much for Chase before Chase would tuck the front. Like, we can all agree on that. Like, Tomac did not have the raw
he had the
speed
points
Chase
lead.
did. I know he did.
Eli,
but
I
again,
still
that's
stand
because
by-
Chase gave up 87 points.
Yeah, I also stand by the point that Eli got to a point in that season. He had such a big points gap talking about the VRM. Guess we're going to say this a lot this year. Eli looked at it and goes, why would I need to beat this kid when two things are going to happen? Either A, he's going to tuck the front and he's going to hit the ground and I'm going to beat him anyway. Or B, all right, I get second tonight. I still have decent amount of points. I lose 3. And then guess what? I go beat him next weekend.
But he's not going to have that with Jet.
Jet's
Like,
not
'cause
going to have
Jet's not gonna tuck the front.
have a race against Eli like he did with Chase where he's going to make Eli make a mistake. Eli's not going to make the mistakes that Chase did outdoors. If you fully believe that Eli is going to do what Chase did, you're high.
No.
Eli doesn't make Chase mistakes. Eli doesn't make mistakes anymore. He made one mistake early in the year when he hit the hay bales, and then what happened later on? He ended up winning, 2-3 in a row?
Yeah, he won a lot.
So, like,
yeah.
that's the difference between him and Chase is Jet is not... So you say that Eli's not going to be able to do to Jet what Chase did? Totally right. Flips too. Jet's not going to have a situation where Eli's closing up on him, and then he's going to rush a pass, and then all of a sudden he's going to tuck the front, or he's going to cross run, or he's going to get the deck or whatever. Eli's not going to make the pass, and he's going to go, all right, cool, bro. Like, I don't got it tonight. You're faster than me. Or I'm going to hang back. I'm going to watch what you're doing, pick up on your lines, and guess what? I'm going to implement my style. I'm going to make those lines work for me in a way that is conducive to getting around you. And he's either going to pass him or they're going to battle and Jet's going to beat him. But guess what? Eli still didn't let him walk away.
I'll be honest. I think you're going to see a lot of races where Jet does not lead the entire race this year because he is. I'm pretty sure I heard this somewhere where he had mentioned that he doesn't like leading the entire race because he can't see what they're doing.
No, you're totally right.
So
but once
I
again,
think they're
he's
going
not,
to. So I think
Eli's
they're going to
not
take
gonna-
that into account, and I think he's going to run second, third a lot of nights
But he's
until the
not-
last last 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you're going to see Jet go.
Where's
right
he?
by people.
Where's he gonna just walk away from Eli?
Dude,
This is it, Chase. If you were saying
where did
just,
he walk away from Chase all summer? I don't fucking know.
It was
He's
Chase,
a fucking freak of nature.
do you see what I'm trying to say though?
I understand what you're saying.
So if this was just a Chase Sexton argument, I honestly really couldn't have an argument because
Yeah.
there is no argument. But Eli's not Chase Sexton.
like Eli's going to be a much tougher opponent for him, in
So
my opinion,
Jet-
than Chase,
so-
unless they have that bike completely figured out and he's not tucking the front. However,
to piggyback off his comment, then with the losing, what's he gonna do where his normal way of winning races doesn't work? Then what's gonna happen? Because
Okay,
and
answer
I would
this
give
question.
Jet all this credit in the world. Jet hasn't known what it's like to lose consistently.
Okay.
Because obviously he's lost races
Yeah.
consistently since 2020, right?
Yeah,
2020.
But
if
what
he-
do you
if he
think he's
loses
gonna-
3-4 in a row?
But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't see it. Jet's consistent speed, I believe, is faster than Chase's. And we all saw last year that Chase is
Outdoors.
Chase
Chase is faster
Chase-
outright
I-
Supercross.
I think Chase can go faster indoors.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, does he do it for a whole main? That's a different
Do
question.
you think? Let me ask you this, because we all can agree that after watching Tomac last year, Tomac beast mode, at least indoors, was not really a thing, right?
I don't think
only
it's
when
really
he wanted
ever
it to
been
be?
a thing.
What happened to A1?
I guess A1 he was
Houston,
really good.
Houston.
But the rest of the year we didn't see it though.
Houston. What happened? What happened in the night where he was out front? What race was it that Barsha got hurt and Eli was just walking away from everybody? And then he got 10 minutes in and he goes, Chase, you can have it. I don't need to win this race. And Chase goes around him and we're going, oh my God, like Chase is so much faster.
Yeah,
Then
that
you look at
was,
the lap times and you go, no, he actually wasn't.
That was Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville. So I get what you're saying, but I still stand by the point that when Eli wants to still go beast mode or whatever we call it these days, Eli can still go beast mode. He just doesn't have to anymore.
Look, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna stop the Jet 17-0 till we lose.
And that's fine.
Okay.
And that's fine. You
and
don't
if
have
it's
to.
the first round, then I'll stop after the first round. But right now, I'm gonna go 17-0.
I'm just going to piggyback off what Cole said, and I'm going to agree to the fact what's going to happen when the normal way of Jet winning doesn't work on a guy like Eli, that we talk about the way Jet is mentally. Eli's been doing this shit before Jet even was riding the fucking big bike.
I think it's zero problem.
We'll find out.
I mean, I know we're gonna.
Yeah.
We will probably. Well, maybe depends. If he wins all 17, then we won't because
Well,
then he just knows winning. But
we're gonna find out.
I don't think with the team he has around him, which includes his father and his brother, I don't think it's an issue.
Team
We'll see.
HRCO.
Yeah,
We'll
Team
see. He got pissed
Not an
off
issue.
quite a few times on the 250s, even when he was winning. A la
but that's
McAdoo.
but that's because I feel like he felt, especially in that case, that he was so much better than all
it's
those
still
guys.
getting a temper
so
tantrum.
to lose there was like, okay, I think if he loses to Chase or he loses to Eli in the 450 class here, he just goes, those guys are really fucking good. Like it's not a shock.
Yeah.
Or it's not like the end of
know.
my
Well,
world.
there's the-
Losing to McAdoo versus losing to Tomac are
Oh,
two
yeah.
completely
You're not
different
wrong. You're not
things.
wrong.
Sorry, but the Roxon deal in Chicago too. It's almost like he was afraid to lose, so he built this whole like bullshit thing that he couldn't dig himself out of about letting him
Maybe.
back.
I don't know. I think he's really fucking stupid in math, to be
Yeah, I
honest
think you
with
should never try to do math on
I
a
don't
dirt
think
bike
so
ever
either.
again.
I think
I don't know. He did say 1 + 1 = 1 million,
Yeah.
bitch.
But he's gonna
that
he's
was
gonna
good math there.
He's gonna win. He's gonna win a lot of races. He's gonna be in the title hunt. Like plain and simple, he's one of the three guys. Like I still stand by. And you're probably right. I have to see it first. What's gonna happen when he loses a couple in a row? If it happens, how does he deal with it? He's probably gonna be fine because he's Jet Lawrence. It's one of those things I have to see, and then when we see it and he proves that he's fine, then we'll go from there.
All right.
Because I have no reason to believe that he can't figure it out. Because he's obviously figured out everything else in his career.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
all right. Hey, so I'm just gonna tell you, I need you to put some weight back on because you're much more fun when you're fired up.
Dude, so your mental's been changing too then,
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's not as good for the show, so I need you to put some weight back
Oh,
on.
my God.
You want to go to Cheesecake Factory after this?
Never. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole.
Really?
No.
You don't like Cheesecake Factory?
I don't eat sweets.
Oh, well, that's lame.
God, I love sweets.
Me too. That's why we look the way we do, and he's lost 70 pounds.
Oh, my God.
That's why he looks
All
like
right.
he's gonna go down to campus and just slay.
Probably. All right, let's move on here. So Roxon at Hep Suzuki here.
You trying to go to the library?
No. No.
Yeah,
that I'd fit. I
there
don't
we
fit,
go.
I don't fit in there at all.
You need to put him on that crotch rocket over there, and we need some
my
West Mish
God.
Rev.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Fucking first gear wide open all the way
We
down.
need some
Yes.
West Mish Rev.
All right,
Lord.
does Kenny win a race this year?
No.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, salty.
bold
Let's go.
move.
Let's go.
Argue.
Well, all season last year, people were like, Kenny won't win a race, and he figures how to pull one out of his ass.
You just got to figure out when he stalls that bike to kick it quicker.
Rumor is
Yeah.
they're putting electric start on it, although it's
mean,
not
they can.
confirmed.
I
But
mean,
there
they
is
can.
rumor they're putting electric
I don't
start
know.
on
They
it.
can machine it in there. It's not.
So, well, Kenny's not even on the list here because you didn't put him on the list. So, I don't even have any thoughts, but I do, I do think he wins a race. I think he's in a much better place than where he started last season. Like, he can say whatever he wants, but he looked like dog shit on that Suzuki the first couple rounds.
Yeah.
SMX looked like the Kenny of old, almost a little more aggressive even than Honda Kenny. Mm-hmm.
Really good at high point when he showed up.
6
Yep.
podiums in Supercross last year. Just an FYI.
6?
6.
I think we see a lot of that. We see a lot of podiums out of Kenny. Does Suzuki pay? We don't know if the checks are going to bounce or not, but
They're coming from Progressive, so it's fine.
are they? So they got
careful.
some good insurance policies.
Careful, Mr. Corporate over there. Don't be talking shit.
Yeah.
They'll come after you. They'll sue Kawasaki.
Oh, don't be saying that.
Kenny's gonna be. I think Kenny will be in the big 5, whatever we're calling it.
6.
But I
gotta be
don't
6
see I don't see him getting a win. I just think that once again, Chase, Eli, and Jet are going to be too damn good, and I just don't see him being able to break in there because I don't see those 3 having an off night all at the same time.
I see Kenny. I see Kenny getting a win. Now another thing with Kenny too, and with Ferrandis, and I kind of touched on this with you earlier. Ferrandis wanted to ride that Hep Suzuki. Mm-hmm. Roxon said, "Hell no, you ain't riding with me. You ain't being on this team."
Yeah.
Now in the pack,
Heard about that too.
But I've heard that wasn't really a thing, too, so I don't know.
So-
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, who knows what to believe if that's even real.
They're both
But-
assholes.
But if that is real, is there some stuff going on in the back of the pack?
Animosity.
I don't know, man. I feel like
Yeah.
Dylan.
Are they getting the sawzall out and
I
chopping
feel like,
front ends or
I
what?
feel like
Hopefully.
Dylan. I feel like Dylan is probably in a more happy place here than he would have been at Hep.
He's French.
I
He's
agree.
never happy.
No, I think that's just the French disconnect. But
You're
no,
right.
I think Kenny is definitely a step above from last year, even with a really slow start last year. That's a lot more podiums than I thought he had.
He
so,
podiumed round 3.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's kind of a shocker, but
He went 5-4-3.
interesting. No, I think he's up in there in that conversation.
I feel like he gets 3 podiums, and that's the best he does.
Wow, you're losing faith in your boy.
Dude, I like Kenny, but I've said this for a year now, a year and a half maybe. Like
Yeah.
Kenny is just who Kenny is at this point. He's going to show flashes of brilliance. His fast twitch sprint speed is going to be insane, but ultimately, those guys can walk him down. Plain and simple.
Can't go the distance.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it won't surprise me if he gets a win. I'm not going to call one here. I think he plays around on the box a lot again, though, because Kenny just has a way of getting it done. He gets a start, he sprints away, and even last year we saw him do that, and then he'd get caught. But him getting caught, it's like, okay, how far is he ahead of the 3rd place dude or whatever? Because like it's hard to. Even if you're really good, say jet speed, it's still going to be hard to make up a minute on a Supercross track on Ken Roxon unless he just falls apart.
But I mean, let's be honest though. At Indy, like he won that race fair and square.
yeah,
But
That wasn't a
Barsha,
fitness track.
Barsha,
no, that was survival. Yeah, and
dude,
Barsha
he
catching
was
him.
he
Yeah.
was pounding him fucking something fierce.
Yeah.
So
He was pounding him fierce, huh?
I said hounding.
Oh, I thought you said
Pounding
pounding.
No,
him,
not
pounding
pounding.
him
It
something
sounded-
fierce.
it sounded like pounding, didn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, whatever. It's hounding.
That sounds like a segment brought to you by Gutterworks.
So I still stand by. I think he gets a couple podiums, but man, I don't see how he wins.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't see it because for him to win, I still feel like Jet, Chase, and Eli would all have to have an off night at the same time.
There's a lot. There's
And
a lot
what
to
it,
that,
and honestly, let's be real. What is the chance of that happening?
yeah. All right. So Red Bull KTM here. We're moving on. Red Bull KTM.
Man, I'm bummed Marv's not racing Supercross.
Aaron,
New chassis.
huh?
New chassis.
Yeah. Aaron Plessinger.
Should have won Detroit.
Should have
Should've.
won Detroit.
Fucking
dude.
cowboyed himself into the ground.
Yay.
Two podiums last year. Basically ran around, and we'll call it the 4 to 9 range.
Needs to
most
make
of the
something
season.
happen this year, do or die.
I think he does exactly the same thing he did last year, and I think he's good. He
I
will
think-
continue to get rides as a secondary guy
Look,
wherever.
I'm
He's
opposite,
he's a good
man.
support guy. I think.
I think he needs to get something done, especially if he wants to continue his relationship with KTM, because I'm here to tell you, I know that we're a few years off from that, but Vial is going to be the transition guy to that 450 ride.
Yeah, but VL's got like you said, several years, at least a couple more years.
If they're just looking at, hey, we don't have to pay AP because we know Vial is going to be our guy no matter what, what's the point?
So I'm a little
they're
different.
gonna run two guys.
Yeah,
450,
but
so
but
he's got at least one more contract with him. But I don't think he's looking to go like a ton more years because he's not. A
No, he's
spring
going to
chicken
GNCCs.
anymore.
Yeah, and that brings me into kind of the point I want to make. But I was very hard on the KTM move with AP. I thought it was career suicide, but it has gone a lot better than I thought as
Yeah.
far as letting him be who he is. Now, from the business side of it and looking at it in that kind of light, it's honestly a perfect move because you have AP, the all-American redneck cowboy guy that rides his two-stroke in the woods. Where does KTM sell the most of their bikes? GNCC guys, off-road guys, hair scramble guys. You go to a race like that, and that's all there is are Austrian bikes. AP is the perfect guy for
He's
that
going
market.
GNCC after he's done.
So, no, the cowboy target market, like the good old American,
Yep.
and I think that's honestly a really smart move of KTM if they were looking at it in that light. I personally think it just depends on his arm. So I was listening to it on the way here, and Ryan Gauld had on the Pulp Show had asked Sexton, like, how's AP? Where do you think he's gonna be? And he said there are some days where me and AP just trade laps where we don't think we can go any faster. Speed's there. That's coming right out of Sexton's mouth. But AP's arm still bothers him. Now that's going to be the biggest thing. Can he get over that arm? And if there are nights where that arm really isn't bothering him, I think we see Detroit nights. I think with a little more of a base under him, he's been healthier than a little longer than usual. I'm going to stamp it right now. I think AP is going to be my breakout guy this season.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I could see it because you're right. He has been healthier. Now he's got even more time, working with this platform and the team and everything. Like I said, I see a lot of the same thing as last year. I see him 4 to 9 and just kind of hanging in that range. And, on the box, okay, cool. Won't surprise me. Win a race, I'll be a little more like, ooh, okay, that's different. But
I think he
I
breaks
don't
out
see a
and gets
whole lot different. And I see him just continuing to sign contracts as long as he wants to race
Yeah, he's
SX
marketable,
and MX for secondary dude.
I think he's my breakout guy. Like I said, stamp it. I mean, you look at the star days when he was toward the end at the speedways, getting starts, leading until
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through, and then he got hurt. So
Yep.
now he's got more to build on. I know it's off-season heater lap time on Instagram, but
Yeah.
there was a video the other day of him doing a lap or two, and I was like,
Oh, I saw that
holy
his dad.
shit,
Yeah.
this guy is moving.
Yeah, he was doing all right. So,
Doing all right, he says, this fucking guy.
I know.
all right.
He was shredding. So
Shredding the gnar.
AP, you need to grab that bull by the horns and just fucking let her eat.
All right.
I don't know what that was.
Let's talk Sexton here.
The 2023 champ. Weird.
Okay. You want me to start?
Sure. Go ahead.
You watch his vlogs?
You want me to go? You want
I
me to
haven't
say-
watched his vlogs, but I've been watching a lot of videos that he's been in lately.
I've been watching some videos of him riding, and I'm pretty impressed.
I watched his vlogs. He looks
Go
good.
ahead.
There was one thing in his preseason vlog that I went, uh-oh.
What?
And he literally said in the vlog, yeah, I'm feeling a little fatigued today. And I went, oh, shit. So I don't know. We'll see.
I love the fact that it's going to be him, Ken, and Vial training. Well, and Levi too,
Yeah.
I think that kid
Levi's
looks
living
good.
with him in California right now.
which is weird.
Yeah.
think
Levi
that's-
and Chase Sexton living together.
I think that's going to be a good move on Kitchen's end.
Oh, I do too. He has freedom to do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
grinding
I
out
think
motos.
that's maybe going to kind of, we're getting off topic here, but kind of rebuild the Mitch Payton mentality. Let these guys kind of maybe
instead
do
of
their
doing
program.
9,000 laps a day.
Well, instead of making them all live right in California,
Yeah.
too. So
I'm hopeful they can stay healthy here. But that comment made me super nervous.
I don't know, man, because he's on the same program he's been on
Yeah, but here's
And
my
he's
here's
been
my,
fine.
Here's my only concern though is, okay, I'll use a term like, man, I'm tired, whatever. I'm a fucking old guy. It happens. We're tired all the time. For him to use a term of, oh, I'm fatigued,
I
I'm
think
not going
makes
to read
me-
into that much.
I'm going to go into the fact of the bike's going to be fine.
I think
Chase
the bike
speed-wise is
fine,
going to be
yeah.
fine because, dude, his whoop speed looks fucking
He
insane.
looked-
and
he
talking
looks
about
good.
He looks good on that bike.
talking
dude.
about the feel and having more feel of the front end, he actually can anticipate what it's going to do instead of feeling like, hey, this thing's like it's floating over. And I also think mentally he's going to be in such a better spot than he was this past year than he was at Honda. Not knowing that Jet is not on the other side of the rig. Man, he's going to be really tough to beat if he is 100% at every race. He is going to be really tough to beat.
I'm not sure that there's as much between him and the Lawrences.
No, not beef. I think that in the back of his head, knowing that
Man,
the guy on
okay,
the other side of the
all
rig
right, I'll
is
give you
Jet, and even though they were obviously giving Chase a lot of attention because he was still one of the best guys in the world,
Yeah.
he knew he was leaving, and he always goes, "Yeah, man, I'm getting help. Lars likes me. Everybody on the team likes me, but I got this kid over here that like everybody just talks about nonstop."
Yeah.
I think throughout the season, and you've seen that outdoors with some
That
of the
wears
times,
on you.
Yeah.
mentally, he was just over it. He knows at KTM, even though they love AP, he's the guy. He's the number one guy. He's getting all the attention, all the eggs in his basket. They paid him a whole lot of money doing all this kind of shit. Mentally, I think every round he's going to go in and go, oh, I got these guys.
And I think they believe in each other because that's where I'm going. Is KTM let him stick with his own program that he's been doing? No, Alden.
Yeah, well, that was a him thing. He forced that of, hey, I'm going to do this or I'm not signing.
And Alden,
And that tells me is like, okay, let you do what you do. We believe in your program, and he's going to believe in their program. They have that relationship.
and it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing with Vial when Tom came over and he was like, yeah, I'm not doing the Alden thing. Chase going to Alden would not work for him because
No.
Chase doesn't need Alden.
No.
Like Chase, he's fine off the bike.
Yeah.
Like that's not his issue. What Alden provides to Chase, it would have been like, cool, I already do all that shit.
Drugs?
Well, that too. He's like, I don't need
Probably
that.
on drugs too, anyway.
Yeah, I mean they're
it's
definitely
built like
on-
a brick shit
probably
house,
fucking
man.
TRT or some shit.
Did you see that transfer video he put up the other day? Mm-hmm. That was pretty cool.
So yeah,
Having fun.
as
Having
far
fun.
as far as Chase
Fun,
goes,
fun on our
he's
KTM.
God, dude, if he shows up 100% and he is fine on every aspect of what it takes to win a race, dude, he's gonna be really hard to beat.
He's going to be really hard to beat. in
He's
my
going to be
opinion.
real. I mean, granted, I just talked about Eli and obviously giving Jet all the credit in the world.
He talks about, in the interviews I've heard, he talks about the front end of that KTM. He can plant that much.
He can
harder
anticipate
than
what it's gonna
could-
do.
Yeah,
He
than
said he
could
can
that
load- he
Honda.
can load that
the
bike.
shit out of it.
Because where with the Honda, he didn't know, hey, this thing's going to squat and it's going to plant or it's going to fucking bounce back like a pogo stick and it's
Yeah.
going to go off from underneath me.
Which that was a problem.
So
there.
now when he goes to load this bike into a flat corner, it sticks.
Yep.
Or fucking, put the force of
We'll
a
see.
Mack truck into the face of a triple.
Yeah. We'll
They're
see.
running 48 mil forks, I think, too.
Yeah.
Dude, it's going to be, he's going
Which
to
is
be hard to beat.
ironic
Look,
because
those-
weren't they forcing him to run 50s last year?
Yeah.
And that was what the whole
52s
Cooper
and
Webb
Coupe thing,
blow up
yeah.
thing was about. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, like I think Sexton is going to be, he's going to be one to beat.
I think so, too.
If Jet,
I mean,
and
he's in the big six.
Yeah,
if
even,
Jet and Eli are the guys that we think have the best shot at winning the title, Chase, in my opinion, is the one guy, though, that if you can tell me at the end of the season that all of his shit was clicking, I'm actually going to pick him. I'm not picking him, but I'm saying if you can tell me he's fine on every level, to me, I just see something in him. As crazy as it is to talk about Jet and Eli, and I just go, man, if this kid could just figure out that one step, nobody can beat this kid. Because he's proven on every level. Obviously, Jet has too. But Chase, when I just watch him, there's something about him when he is clicking that I go, I don't see in Jet, and I don't even see in Eli. I don't know what it is. I
like
can't.
the first half of the LA thing.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, how? How are you? How are you doing it?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that wraps up all our team talk here. So let's. All right. Let's start out. Who's gonna have the toughest year?
toughest year. Man, like as far as mentally results or just all together, huh?
Yeah.
Man, that's really a tough question. Can I say all those guys? They're all gonna have a tough year. Every one of them. I don't know. You got what do you got? Circle back.
I hate to say it, I got Christian Craig.
Have a tough year.
Yeah. And that's only because I'm going off preseason, which is something I never do.
Yeah.
But just with how his season went last year and then watching preseason, and even though loving watching Christian ride, just go, okay, it's Christian. I hate to say that. It pains me to say that, but Christian Craig.
Okay. I'm going to go with cover your ears. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. Cover your...
Go ahead.
Jason Anderson. I think he's going to have a tough year. I just don't see it getting any better for him here. Maybe that new training program helps, and maybe they get that bike developed a little better, something puts him in a little bit better headspace, but if that isn't the case, fucked.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a rough year. Who you got?
Man, you guys saying that, I think I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go the Craig route as well.
Okay.
I think...
A bunch of haters, but that's okay. Paige, I still love your husband. It's fine.
Last year, just how down and out he was, frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think you see a little more of that again this year.
Especially if Malcolm is doing well and he's not.
Yeah. He's got to go to the track and get beat down by Malcolm every day. Doesn't help.
No.
I think he does have I think Christian Craig does have a tough year as well.
Okay. Who needs to make an impact this year to, let's just say, continue
their career?
That's
a tougher question.
Man, there are a lot of guys that are kind of on the bubble.
There are. So pick one.
Adam Cincerillo.
Cowie's never going to fire him.
Oh, they're not going to fire him, but I don't know if this is the second year of his contract or not. But I think he needs to, I take that back because he kind of accepted that he is that second tier guy, and he did exactly what a second tier guy needs to do last year.
Yeah.
So,
which was basically finish all the races, which he did all but two.
Which he did. So
all but two.
I guess circle back to me on that one too.
I'll go. It's pretty easy for me now that I think about it. I'll go Barsha because Prado's coming, and if Barsha doesn't pull his weight.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know he's not going to be happy having a teammate, he's going to lose his ride whether he likes it or not. And this time, there's no, I'm going to go out and I'm going to prove myself. They're going to be like, yeah, dude, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So Barsha.
Okay. And I'm going to go with Christian Craig on this.
We're just
we're going to circle all around here.
Great.
But I'm going to go with Christian Craig.
Okay.
Because I feel like if he doesn't make an impact, he is going to be one of those dudes that's going to have a bit of a rough time. And again, I don't know who's moving up because you're going to ask me, who's going to take a spot? I don't fucking know. But I'm just saying that it will be, I think it'll be rough.
Okay.
I think my guy I've got my guy that needs to make an impact.
Okay.
And that's
Go
Dylan
ahead.
Ferrandis.
Okay.
Just for the fact that he isn't on a factory bike.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't go well for him, when is he going to get back on a factory bike? Where is he going to go? He might get
Is
stuck.
that 1 year or 2 year deal?
I think it's 2.
Okay.
I think
don't quote me on that.
Okay.
And I think he gets stuck kind of like in that Savachi thing where you can never get back to a factory ride.
He'll just go back to the GPs, even though he said he doesn't want to.
Okay.
Yep. So,
all right. Who has a breakout season?
I already stamped that shit.
Who'd you say?
Aaron Plessinger.
Okay.
Jay Coop.
Okay.
I feel like you would like that answer. Jay Coop. I got to go Jay Coop.
Okay.
I really do.
191 on the debut.
For all the reasons that we've talked about, he is so solid. I just feel that if he can continue that, where he's just okay with where he is, we all have seen it enough times with guys over the years that if you just are cool with who you are and you don't stray away from that, you can just have a very good, solid career, a la Tim Ferry, a la Andrew Short, a la Ivan Tedesco, so on and so forth. You're just cool with where you were, and I think he is. So, Jay Coop.
I'm going to go with Hunter.
Okay.
Because I think Hunter is going to solidify himself as a very, very solid / potential race winning
1B
secondary, 1B guy on a 450 team.
Yeah. When you ask this question, I immediately think 2013 Millsaps. Like, who's going to be that guy?
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever see a guy like that again, though, because that literally came out of left field.
I mean, it could be Hunter. Because, does anyone really think
you think Hunter's going to win races and lead
I
the
don't
points?
know.
No, it ain't going to be...
Okay,
it
don't
ain't
get me
gonna be
wrong.
like Millsaps.
No.
When me and Coach made that bet about Hunter, Coach was like way up here with Hunter, and I was like way down here. And now I think we've both kind of closed down that gap. So I'm like a little higher on Hunter than I was, especially seeing him on a 450 now. I'm not jet status on there, but I think he's going to be way better than we anticipate. And again, I could see him winning.
Okay.
Which is strange. I'm not going to stamp it, but I could see him. It's kind of like Roxon.
Okay.
I could see it happening.
Okay.
All right, last question for the 450 preview here. Who's your champion?
Who's going first?
Jet.
Eli.
Ooh, it's a little different around here. I'm going Chase Sexton, boys.
Okay.
Did we literally just... Wow.
All three of
okay,
us were
all right.
different. That's
All right.
crazy.
And
All
none of
right.
us waffled.
No.
Can we back that up for, since that was so quick, just give a little one reason why? And it's got to be like, don't go over the top.
Mute
Just
him. We already know.
I'm
him.
not gonna go over
don't.
the
Yeah,
top.
don't.
I mean-
I didn't say you were going to. Don't go over the top. Give a legitimate, just straight down the middle answer. Why?
I mean, we went 22-0 outdoors, and then SMX was fine.
Because somebody's got to prove to me that they're better than Eli Tomac when he's healthy.
I think Chase Sexton has the raw speed to go faster than Jet. I think he can run with him, potentially go a little faster. I think with his mindset and the people around him and the way he's explaining that bike works for him. Mm-hmm. And if that bike is working for him under load, that kind of answers the questions of all his blunders. Like, you look at when he was landing off jumps and the bike was loading,
Yeah.
it was kicking out.
Yep.
That was the base of all his crashes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. So if that's gone and he's out front, there ain't going to be any loading the bike and just having things shoot out from underneath him. So
Well, I'm here to tell you that if we're all correct and all three of these guys are in it every race, we're in for a fucking season,
Fucking
boys.
great season.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
let me just go around the horn real quick with you guys. I think the vet rider mentality on Tomac will make these guys work for it. I think Jet is the young up-and-comer that just has unlimited potential, and this could go very, very well if everything maintains the course it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they fix the front-end problem with Chase, where he can predict what the bike's going to do and the front end doesn't kick out every single race, it'll be a fucking battle between these two as to who screws up first, and then if they both screw up and end up with issues, then it goes to Tomac.
And honestly,
That's how I think it works.
And honestly, I can't disagree with that because I mean it's kind of factual.
Yeah.
I think Eli's like the third fastest guy as the season goes. Like
one,
total
1A, 1B, 1C speed wise.
Yeah.
1A overall, 1B, 1C.
Yeah,
That's how I think
it's
it
weird
goes.
to say that Tomac.
It's like a triangle.
But the crazy,
It's like Tomac is like taking web spot as the guy maybe not with the most raw speed,
Yeah.
but can figure it out.
The crazy thing to think about that though, since you've made your point about for Jet and you know he can with Chase, I'll make my point for Eli though to back up what you said. The crazy thing is, out of everything you just said, Eli has more likelihood to do that
Yes.
than both Jet and Chase do. Because he's proven it. He's proven it.
By a few percent, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I mean there's no
Not a lot of percentage.
There's
but I'll give it to
nothing
you.
wrong because honestly, everything you said, there's nothing really. I can't say anything bad to that because it's kind of factual. So
I'm getting better at this. So.
All right.
All right. Anything else you two want to talk about with the 450 class?
no, I think we covered a lot of it.
Okay.
Is there anything else we're talking about?
There's a few things I wanted to talk about.
Okay, cool.
So number one, what's his name? Laninovich?
Billy Laninovich.
Billy
Laninovich.
Old school name for you folks out there that have been around
It's
since 2000.
pronounced Laninovich.
Laninovich.
Have I ever guys told you about my encounter?
Oh no! Let's hear this.
So no, as a little kid, this is why I've always kind of been a little bit of a fan of Billy Laninovich.
Okay.
Young kid, probably 05. What year did he win the race in San Francisco?
I think it was 05.
05 Factory Connection Honda.
Hold on, I'll see if I can find it, and I'll let you know.
I'm pretty
for
sure it's 05 San
Keep
Francisco.
talking.
Sobe No Fear. Was
maybe.
it Sobe then? No,
I don't
Sobe
think
might have come on later.
No. Anyway, my dad ran a stereo shop, parts and accessories, all that, local to Battle Creek, Michigan.
You've told me this story.
And I think I've told him this story.
Yep.
But, he was in town training with Stanton because Stanton would have guys in
Yep.
before Red Bud every
Yep,
year.
yep.
And
Where Chick
Stanton,
Carmichael's ass in shape.
Stanton used to always bring his vehicles into my dad's shop to get done with window tint and all that stuff. Leninovich's van needed some window tint and a remote start and stuff. So my dad calls me up one day. It's like, hey, or calls my mom, hey, bring Cole up to the shop real quick. And there's this van sitting in there, Opens up the door, 132 factory connection Honda sitting in there. I'm like, holy smoke. Didn't really know a ton of this about the sport at that age, but I was like, this guy was just on Transworld this month. Went home, got the Transworld magazine. It's him just throwing it upside down at Castillo Ranch. And they had a segment in Stone Spray Sandwich of him doing it.
Yeah.
And brought it in. He came in, signed it, was super cool, like awesome guy. And that was just my experience with him. Like he just was like super down to earth and super cool to me. So I always kind of was a fan of him.
Unpopular
San Francisco 2005, correct.
Unpopular opinion for all the Laninovich fans that love the 132. I actually always thought he was better on number 50.
Yeah, he did run the number 50 for a while.
Yeah.
But I do look
He was
back-
more relevant consistently on 50.
Yeah, I think Billy Laninovich was the perfect, like, B guy. All the way through his career. Like,
Well, I mean, that team was fucking wild back in the day, too.
Well, Factory KTM when he rode for them.
Yep.
And then he had a real nice stint with Factory Connection Honda there.
Yep.
This is a guy that carried a factory ride pretty much all the way through his whole career. I got a shot at Factory Cowie for a little bit. Did he ride for JGR at one point? No, everybody did. But
Josh Summey.
no, either way, it's a really cool story, and it hits a little closer to home for me.
He rode 4 races for Factory Cowie in 2009.
Yeah. So it hits a little closer to home for me just because of that experience I had with the guy. And I would love to see him make a main event. I truly believe
he's
he
going
can.
to.
I truly believe he can.
I think it's going to be cool for me seeing Billy because he comes from a time where, for me, obviously, I grew up in the 90s through stuff, so way before that. But, like, that was a time, the mid-2000s, I always talk about it and the whole, like, get off my lawn thing. For me, the mid-2000s motocross, supercross, on every level, amateur and professional, was the gnarliest time physically, mentally, and just what was going on in the industry. Then people talk about the 90s and even go back to the 80s about smoking cigarettes, and then the 90s was a party. I think from 2000 to 2009, moto will never be at a higher level in the sense of shit was just off the wall. Guys were coming out of nowhere. SoCal, like left and right, everybody was partying all the time, riding in the hills. There was more tracks than ever. The bikes weren't great because we were doing this transition to 4 strokes. But Laninovich comes from a time for me that was really special because, dude, it was just that was the Wild West as far as dirt bikes were concerned in the professional sense. And I fully believe he can make every main that he like if he doesn't have any bike issues, because I don't know what his help's gonna look like. And it's going to be cool. It's just going to be cool because, dude, he was a bad dude on a dirt bike for a long time. There might be a lot of people watching him going, who the fuck is Billy Laninovich? But, yeah, man.
No,
you
he
know
was
what?
a bad dude.
He was
race winner.
Man, and like I said, he's got that SoCal vibes.
Got the long SoCal hair, dude.
Yeah. So this will be interesting to see. I mean, I think for all of us vet riders, we're pumped on it to
He
see
is
him.
leading the charge on VRM
Does
right
he?
now. He's VRM team
Does he
captain.
make mains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
He's riding a Yamaha, so.
Yep.
Team Faith.
Yep. Team Faith is hauling his stuff around, so that's super cool. He
No,
was very faithful the other night, which is
He
a
is.
guy who's like starting down this path towards spirituality. It's cool to kind of hear that kind of stuff.
And I'll tell you what,
now.
his whoop speed still looks good.
Yeah, so look
I
at
haven't
the
seen videos of him
Oh,
yet,
dude,
but I've
his
been looking.
whoop
So
speed
he
is-
didn't forget how to ride a bike.
No,
that's for
dude.
sure.
Well, he did a lot of. He was doing classes there for a while too.
He was talking about that on Pulp about how he's like, yeah, so I just, I'm real easy on it. He's like, I didn't jump the triple for like the first 3 laps or something like that.
Did I watch the video of him riding? I think it was it at Fox, and he was riding a 250F, so that was the weird thing. And it was like, other than maybe an exhaust system and some fuel,
He's
and
not
I'm-
riding 250.
What?
He's riding a 450.
He was practicing on 450
He was,
for a little while.
but he was
gonna-
riding a 250 in this video.
How old was it?
It was like back in the summertime.
Maybe because
I
he's
don't
been.
know.
No,
he's
I'm not
been-
saying.
he's been-
I'm not saying he's riding a 250. I'm saying this video he was riding.
Oh,
a
okay.
250.
I'm just saying because like in his interview, he's like, yeah, I'm only riding the 450 right now, and the 250 I won't ride until we get to the races.
This video was back in the summertime, and I don't even know if it was his. To my point, it was funny to watch him talk about how easygoing he is, and I'm sitting there watching him, and I'm like, okay, and then a lot of it was like just music over it, and then it went raw. And you're just listening to him, and I swear the whole entire video, this motherfucker didn't get past 3,000 RPMs. And I'm just watching him. I'm like, that is really not how guys ride 250s anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm like, Porcel.
Yeah. So all around cool story if you can put it in the
super
main.
cool.
God, I hope he
Awesome.
does well.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have a bunch of people in the pits too, because a bunch of us old dudes like us who remember him are gonna go by and say hi, which will be super cool to see too. So
Out of left field comeback. But
yeah, super weird, super random. So, but
It'd
it's
be cool
awesome.
to see more of those guys do that.
Yep. All right. You guys want to talk some 250 stuff? Like
Sure.
just a little
bit.
bit here.
A little bit. We got some.
We got
little
a
bit.
half an hour till we hit that 3 hour mark.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't wanna
bang
go
through it.
into
What do you want
that.
to do? What do you want to do? What do you
Okay. So we don't. Let's preface this for the 250 class here. We don't really know who's racing what,
But we have an idea.
but
though.
we have an idea.
So do you want to know? Do you want to go over what I've heard of who's each coast?
So yeah, go ahead. Let's
So
start
what
with
I've
that.
heard was West, and this has been jockeying back and forth with some injuries and stuff. I've heard West. If you want to just talk about the names, because obviously we bench raced this about in our group text. What I've heard is West. If you just want to talk about the key players, whether some of you want to say aren't going to do shit, whatever. I've heard Smitty, Nate, Thrasher,
Okay.
and then Dax,
Okay.
Voland and Levi,
Okay.
RJ, Joe, West, East, Fortner, Hammaker, McAdoo, Deegan, Styles, and Romano, Vial, and then obviously you have, like, if you want to throw the Husky guys in there, but they're not going to win races, Guillaume Perez and Casey Cochran.
Okay. So let's create some clickbait shit right now. So let's talk.
Deegan.
Hold on, have you guys heard? Have you guys heard the same thing, or like?
roughly.
Kind of what I've seen. Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly.
All right, cool.
So let's create some clickbait here, and
Okay.
let's talk about how Deegan is running away from Joe.
I don't.
Oh,
believe
that is not where I thought you were going to go, to be honest with you.
You don't think that?
No, I don't not think that. I just honestly thought you were going to go a different route and go Hagen is going to walk everyone.
think-
I didn't know you. I didn't think you were going to go. He's walking away from Joe.
I think he's running away from Joe.
All right, okay,
What was the
go ahead.
bullshit that you said you heard, that he's not racing West because his mechanics hurt or something?
I didn't hear that.
Brett Duffy.
Somebody
Yeah.
told me that.
So I
Somebody
mean,
told
Duffy
you
is
that,
hurt.
but I don't believe that's
He's
a thing
hurt
at all.
So somebody said that he wasn't racing. He wasn't going to race West because Duff's hurt.
All right, so I'm not.
When was the last fucking
No.
time somebody didn't race a fucking coast
No,
because
I don't
somebody
buy that
was
at all.
hurt?
So I'm not going to lean into the Joe thing, but if you want to like create clickbait, I do find it weird though that he is going east, because we all talked about this. Hayden Deegan at A1. Hayden Deegan at A1. Bring the California kid back home. Bring
Yeah.
him back home. Bring it back home. Okay, so the original thing we had heard at Chicagoland was it was going to be him, Dax, and then Enzo Lopes. Well, Enzo was going to be in there, and then Styles, because
Yeah.
obviously Styles is a Cali kid. Dax and Hayden
Yeah.
get along, and Enzo's new to the team, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I still hear Enzo is going west.
Okay.
And we're like, well, they're not going to put Smitty and Hayden on the same coast because they don't like each other. And they wanted, and Thrasher is obviously their other side that has the potential to win a championship. So they're going to take him and Hayden, put them on different coasts. They don't not like each other. They whatever. Well, then Styles comes out. Styles hurt, whether it's a wrist. What'd you hear? A shoulder?
Collarbone.
Okay, whatever. He's hurt. Same old Styles. Okay. Throw Nate on East, and then you have Hayden and Nate. It's not really great, but I mean, Smitty could pull one out of his ass. Probably not, but to win a title on East, whatever. Well, then it's like, well, why would you throw both Smitty and Nate on West now and move Hayden East to Romano and Gavin Towers and like, I'm not buying into what you're saying.
Towers going pro this year in Supercross?
He's doing futures, and if he does well, it's kind of like a Hayden Ding thing last year. He could, probably not because he crashes, but I never thought of that until you just said that, and now I'm not agreeing that he's running away from Joe. But now I think about it, why would he go east? What would be the point of him going east when Styles getting hurt? Okay, we move him and Nate over, but why would we move Hayden to east when that was never?
The only other conclusion I can come to with this, okay, and this is me being more level-headed, is that they are smart enough that they're trying to do the same thing that Jet did, which is they think that I think we all can collectively agree. Hayden's a favorite for the title this year, right?
He would have been a favorite on both coasts for sure.
No matter which coast it is, he's a favorite.
He's
for
not the favorite. He's a favorite.
a favorite. Yes,
Okay,
that's what
yeah,
I said.
yeah.
Not the favorite, a favorite, right? So originally we were all talking west. That was what everybody was talking about because we all were, he's a California kid, whatever, take him back. But what if they're trying to play this out the same way that Jet did it? So he goes to East, he wins that first title. Now we all know, as you and I were talking about the other day, he has plenty of following, fanfare, everything around him. So no matter what, it's going to be huge. But on the East, there's not that A1 huge.
Yeah.
Okay. So you let him go in and win his first Supercross title. on the East where it's a little more low key at the like. Let's face it, the first East round this year is February 5th in Detroit. So there not even a fan fest there. You know, so like, okay, so he's not going to get a whole bunch of play like that. So he does that. Then next year, now you've got him prepped, not only, even though he doesn't really need it, because we all know he's very good with handling the pressure, the fan base, all that shit. But now you've got him prepped as, okay, he knows how to handle the title in a pro situation, and he's got a title, and he knows how to handle all the fanfare and everything that's happening. So then next year when you do put him on West to defend a title, or not even defend, but to go after that second title, now you can go same way we did already. He won an East title, he won a West title, he's won an outdoor title, because I just don't see him not doing that over the next couple of years. And then you're moving him into 450s, fully prepped and ready. He's ran all 17 rounds, both coasts, whatever. I mean, that's just what I see here. That's my logical sense to it. Now, the illogical clickbait I want to put out there is that he's fucking running away from Joe, because they're smart enough too to go, well, Joe is a fucking threat on that Honda.
I don't think so. I think that dude cracks under pressure. But anyway,
I still don't know where that comes from.
what?
Travis has said the same thing, that you think Joe cracks under pressure, and I don't know where that
I
comes
mean,
from.
anytime there's been pressure on him to perform, he hasn't done very well.
It will
When
be
has there
it
been
will be
pressure?
it will be fully proven this year if that's the case. If he comes out on West Coast on that Honda and does absolutely fucking nothing, it's him.
But I'm here to tell you, even though I have Joe as one of the favorites and everything should go right, if it is come out true that it does look like it's going to be Kitchen, Thrasher, Smitty, RJ, and Joe, Joe to me doesn't, like, he's got to be the guy. He's probably going to be the pick. But I don't look at him and go, yeah, man, he's faster than all those dudes.
No,
I still pick
Thrasher runs with
Thrasher.
him.
I still pick Kitchen when he's on. Kitchen's got to figure out his mental side. But I don't look at him and go, yeah, man, that's going to be a cakewalk just because Hayden's not on the same coast as him anymore.
So I'm going to disagree a little bit with the Kitchen thing here. But
let me go back to Hayden.
go
real
back
quick
to
before-
Deegan. Yeah, let's finish the Deegan
Let's
thing
finish some
first.
Deegan action.
And then I want to talk about Kitchen.
I almost think it's like splitting hairs, getting to the point where they're really splitting hairs just for that little bit of an edge. So the Gypsy Pod with Brian and Hayden and everything was very good.
Yep.
I suggest everybody listen to it. It made me a bigger fan of those guys.
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to just the little gain of Hayden, and I mentioned this in the group text, living in Florida, being on the East Coast series, there's no recovery time with time zone differences. Travel on the airplane and in the airports is a little smaller from going from East to West Coast. Those little things, getting his body healthy and recovered and all that, are going to add in. And I think that plays a factor in his decision.
That could be too.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So-
Let me ask you this: do you think as long as they win an East Coast title this year, or however it plays out, at some point they're going to win an East Coast title? Then the second year they go west.
Yes.
They do the same thing.
I think they do that just to do. I think it's a goal of a 250 rider to
Yeah.
come in and do both coasts.
I think the days of old of defending a number one plate on your coast doesn't matter to these kids anymore.
So let me
They
ask
wanna
you
win
this
both.
too: are they doing the private fly-in thing for West Coast then?
It maybe depends on what kind of money
Yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the type that are not
That would
only
do
do they
that.
have the money, but they
Yeah.
would do that for the sheer advantage
no,
of
I
being
agree.
able to.
And
Yeah.
I think Brian is smart enough to go in and negotiate a deal with a company or something and be like, hey, we represent your company, but instead of paying us, you pay our private flights all year.
Next
Yeah.
Jet, Wheels Up, something
yeah.
like that.
No,
yeah.
I see that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All
So, okay. All right. Let's go back to the Kitchen thing here for a second. I think Kitchen will be much better this year
Yeah.
because I don't necessarily feel we kind of talked a lot about Kitchen being
head
a
case.
head case or whatever, but if you go back and look at it, it's not so much head case as it is start dependent.
Yeah.
If he started up front, he ran up front. If he didn't, he didn't.
Yeah.
So now you've got these pro circuit bites that we watch once they fixed them all summer in the last few rounds of Supercross. They can get starts. They all yank starts. I mean, let's face it. It was a sea of green at the front of those races. So as long as that stays status quo with those Cowies that he's on now, and he gets starts, I think he's much more relevant.
Well, I also think it has everything to do with the fact of he's coming from Star, they wanted to grind out motos. And people got to remember, Levi didn't even really realize he could do this till about 18, 19.
Yeah.
He didn't have that ingrained in his brain to just pound out
not
motos.
that guy.
He wants to do his motos that he has to,
Yep.
do his off-the-bike stuff,
Yep.
test, and then have fun.
Yep.
So I really think he was getting weighed down a lot when he'd go to the races mentally and physically of
He did not perform
pounding
well.
out motos, but that's why I believe that
That's why this programming's in good with Sexton.
Yeah, dude, he
because
was
those
golfing-
guys want
he
to
was-
go have fun and go surf. And
he
do
was
all that
golfing
shit.
in the vlog with Chase.
Yeah.
His most recent vlog. So that's why I fully believe that if those are the guys that are going to be on the West, that everybody's going to pick Joe, and for good reason. Dude, Thrasher, Kitchen, they're going to give him hell because I still believe both Nate and Levi outright speed on a Supercross track. They walk away from Joe on a true Supercross track.
I think there's one other guy if you can figure out his mental
Are you gonna
that
say
we
RJ?
are completely forgetting
Are you
about.
going to say RJ?
No, and he started having a decent run toward the end of the season.
But RJ's going to be RJ.
Ryder D.
He's supposed to be on West.
That's an interesting. I don't know what to expect there, to be really honest with you. I think
Well, I forgot Pierce Brown's going to be East then.
he has a big old chip on his shoulder about how the whole Kawasaki thing ended. A big old chip. And if he harnesses that correctly, that could be dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, dangerous.
I don't think
He'll be
think,
feeling real dangerous.
Yeah, I think Ryder D is my breakout guy
In the 250
in
class?
250 West at least.
Could be,
so.
man. It could be. So, so obviously Styles
So
is
that's where I'm
hurt.
at with that.
So let me ask you this: if Styles doesn't make all the East Coast rounds,
He's
is
done.
he
He's
done?
out. He's out.
Yeah,
He's
I think
off.
he goes back to Firepower Honda or something.
No, I think he's done.
I was gonna say,
I
is
think
he
he's
done riding?
done.
Period.
Yeah.
Because
I think
he
he's done.
he
He's
talked.
done-
There was
he's
that
over getting
video.
hurt.
I was gonna say there was that video in the Husky days that he was like, "Dude, I thought my career was gonna be
And
over."
he's over getting hurt.
Yeah.
He's over it, which is a shame because that kid has so much talent. And when he's been healthy, dude, he's gotten
pretty
podiums, he's
good,
gotten top
yeah.
fives. And then if you want to also
Is your boy Thrasher gonna keep it off the ground this year?
tell you, man, if he can, he should win the title.
Because
I don't think anybody's faster than him outright in Supercross.
We should have a whole show dedicated to Star Yamaha because we could sit here and debate on like what's Nick Romano's ceiling and what's he gonna do.
Pretty high.
Fuck all. I don't know.
Good. I
Who
think
the
he's
fuck
good.
knows? He's been hurt.
Right? Like
In the outdoor races he raced, he wasn't like super good.
He was top five.
he was getting starts and running
He was
out
top
front.
5, top 10, man. As a rookie, that's good. He gave Jetto he could handle
okay.
Unadilla.
It was okay. I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see.
The star dynamic, if they have 4 and 4, is going to be very interesting. And like I said, if you're looking at Thrasher, Smitty, Dax, and Enzo being your West Coast guys, man, that is a.
Who-
Does the Star- does the
Enzo
Star
Thrasher
bike-
and Smitty could podium every weekend.
Does the Star bike make Enzo any better, or is he still just a top 5 dude?
I think his
think the
starts.
program makes him better.
Yeah, and I think the starts will be the difference because Enzo didn't really lack speed. He wasn't going to beat Jet.
Yeah.
but he didn't lack speed. It's just his starts were a fucking roller coaster.
Is he doing outdoors? Do we know if his
I don't think
deal is
so.
for outdoors
I don't
too?
think
He's
so.
Supercross only.
I think it's Supercross.
That's so
only.
weird because he burned that bridge at Club. Well, the whole Club
he
thing.
definitely
there,
burnt the bridge at Club.
well, but that was so weird because Club put out a fucking thing that said that he was riding for him,
Did
and
you-
he
Well,
hadn't signed the fucking deal
and
yet.
Did you watch the Club video? Brandon explains his side.
no, I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
Enzo didn't even reach out as a man. He had somebody else like reach out through text
Yeah.
message. and-
Well, it looks
I-
like Club 2 for theirs, what I seen last is that West is going to be Marchbanks, Phil, and then East will be J Mart, Jet Reynolds, and Cody Shock.
Jet Reynolds.
Does Jet Reynolds do anything?
Absolutely not. I've watched videos of him, and he has been worse than Jarrett Fry.
Absolutely not.
He has been
Listen.
worse than fucking Jarrett Fry.
Listen,
That's unbelievable.
He's gonna go real fast. He's gonna hit that triple, and then he's gonna go to the inside. He's gonna tuck the front. and
I don't
he's
want to blow him out.
Don't. No, we won't. We're
No,
not going to talk.
we're not
about
gonna
that.
talk about it.
No.
Nope.
No. That team though is going to be. I mean, dude, Marchbanks is another guy that if I don't fucking know. I don't know about Club.
We'll see.
Club is like a great career revitalizing retirement home.
All right, so then I guess just
I mean, to me, I like Club because
I do too.
I think it's just a team, like you said, that's good for like if you're struggling, end a career, that kind of stuff, where they can get guys like that like don't need a ton of money but still want to ride, you know. So I like that. Let's see here. Who else do we got? Does Volan do anything different?
he looks like his program's a lot better. I think that bike's gonna be better. I think that he makes all the mains, but I think he's still going to do Volan things. He'll be really, really good outdoors. Supercross, he'll show flashes of how good he is on a bike.
Yeah.
My question was going to be that if we go off everything we just said, and that's what we think the coasts are going to line up like, you don't have to give me a title pick. You don't have to do that. Just give me two guys that you think will be who you think out of those coasts will be up front most of the year. First West, then East, and don't go into it. You don't have to go into spiel. Just say two names.
West, God, it's hard.
If those are going to be the guys,
it's hard to put just two names in there. But I would go, if I had to go all the way to the end of the season, I think it's Thrasher, Kitchen, and Joe.
Okay, you. And don't go, I don't know. Just pick somebody. You can go just off recency.
Dude, I think Joe's going to be up front all year. Then you go to East Coast. I mean, God.
No, two on the West, two on the East.
Two on the West, two on the East.
I
So
went
Joe?
three. I went three.
So,
That's fine.
so Joe and Thrasher on the West for sure. I mean, Thrasher, as much shit as I talk on him, he has proven that he can run up front if he
should actually-
fucking keeps it off the
Yeah.
damn ground.
Yeah,
But he
for
doesn't
sure.
fucking do that. So
No, you're
whatever.
right. You're right.
And then when you move over to East, I
Which
mean,
I think is
obviously,
harder.
obviously Deegan's going to be up front.
Yeah.
Like that's the easy button there.
Because you're talking about three Cowie dudes that have speed but crash a lot, and Vial just sucks in the whoops.
I'll go with Vial too. Yeah, I think I'll go with Vial there too because I think he's gonna be good. He sucks in the whoops, but he'll still run up front. He'll figure it out enough. He'll pull like a Marv. He'll figure out how to do it well enough to keep himself relevant.
I'll go Deegan, Vial, East, West Coast. I agree. Joe and Thrasher. East, who you got?
East,
Hayden. Yeah, obviously.
I got Deegs. I've got Fortner.
You think Fortner's gonna be able to put it together for the whole season?
I think so. I'm poking.
How much do you think Mitch is gonna pull his hair out, knowing that he's going into the East with fucking Seth Hamaker, Austin Fortner, Cameron McAdoo, knowing that at any moment, all three of those dudes easily could win a main event.
I forgot
or
about Seth too.
Or
yeah.
win.
Yeah, and Hammaker just comes out and wins.
Yeah, or like at any moment, beat Hayden Deegan, or at any moment get 10th.
Or at any moment, they all three could get hurt in the same fucking race. Yeah,
How
it's
shitty
unreal.
is that going to be for him?
It's unreal.
Team Green, baby.
Team Green all the way. Love it.
Shoot, I just had something. Now I'm blanking out here.
Who else is over on that coast?
Guillaume Perez, Cochran.
Oh, that's right. Perez is on. That's what I was going to ask. Was Husky?
Yeah,
I'm
Guillaume
not
Perez
really
and
looking
Cochran.
for much out of the Husky team.
Guillaume Perez and Cochran. I think Cochran will struggle. I think Perez will just be a top 10 guy his first year.
I saw Cochran in Florida.
Did you?
Yeah, down on International Drive. We went
nice.
to where did we go that night? Oh, Yard House for dinner.
Oh, Hymus. Hymus is East.
Yeah,
Hymus, I think, will surprise some people.
I think Hymus is going to be a top 5 dude, is all though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
100%.
see him getting I don't know that I see him winning races. I see him being on the podium and floating around that top 5 all year and just finishing.
I see him being podium guy.
Honda. I don't think Honda has any pressure on him. To be honest with you.
And Pierce Brown's the other gas guy. Fast, crashes a lot.
Yep. Pierce Brown down in the brown.
Down in the brown. And that's kind of your...
Listen, there's two guys that you're completely forgetting about because they haven't decided to announce the team yet.
Oh, you mean Jalik Swoll and Evan Ferry?
And what about, is Michael Moseman alive? Does anybody know?
Dude, I don't. He's alive. So
he's been
Isaac. Oh, by the way, Isaac says what's up.
He's been negotiating. Triumph. He was
Another
supposed to be
guy
up.
that can win.
But
He's done.
So I'd heard that he was going to ride Triumph
Yeah.
because Isaac ran into him at church or something.
Was he helping a homeless guy?
No.
Oh. Fuck.
And he said, "Yeah, I wasn't done." But that's super. Yeah, when is Triumph going to announce this team? Because we're 3 weeks away from the
Jalik
frickin'
Swoll
start.
put out like a thing on Instagram or some shit.
that he was
or
riding
something,
for them for West.
No, he put out this little media thing that had to do with Triumph. I don't know. I didn't look at it. I just know
Listen,
that.
I don't really know, but Triumph's marketing department obviously doesn't know their market because there's a lot of pissed off motocross and supercross fans right now that don't know what the hell is going on.
Dude,
Look, the only thing I
uh,
look out of Triumph is Joey Savacci Outdoors. Outside of that, I don't give a damn.
You guys got any thoughts on the whole Supercross debacle with him racing for Triumph?
Let him race.
Yeah, I think it's fucking stupid. Let
Thank
him
you.
race. And
Okay.
also
Let him race.
let Shane McElrath go back to the 250s.
Yeah,
if he
can
wants
you
to.
imagine
dude.
the story you could build with that?
I
you
did
kidding me?
I did a whole video on the Savacci thing. I don't know if you guys. I filmed it on vacation.
Yeah.
Even after you hate him?
Yeah, I said it was fucking bullshit. Like
No,
dude,
he was coming. He was coming around a little bit on Joey last year.
I like Joey. I think Joey's going to be in the mix.
He's coming out of
outdoors.
his shell, but
Dude, outdoors he's gonna be good.
can you imagine the story they could run with? Like, it'd be like a Zach Osborne story rebuilding his career.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I watched the videos of the European team with Harrop and McClellan, of them riding at a fucking whopped out sand track, like just beating the shit out of that bike, it holds.
So
I was thinking that bike was going to be sketchy.
yeah,
No, it's fine.
going back to the Savachi thing a little bit. So he's definitely not riding Supercross because for some reason the powers that be at the teams don't want him to do it, and there's definitely some legal talk behind the scenes about it, like some legitimate legal talk from
Let
the
the man
people
ride
I've heard.
Let the man ride the 250 class. Who
It's the
gives a
fucking
shit?
it's the
What are
fucking
we talking
dumbest
about?
thing
Like
ever.
lawyers and
Oh, yeah.
stuff getting
Let
involved.
him let him ride it. He's not. It's not like he's gonna win a title. He's gonna be in the mix. He'd win races. He's not gonna win the title. Let him fucking ride. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean they
Jesus.
should. It's
Let
Do you
the
really-
older
do you-
guys go back. Like,
Do
where
you?
are these?
It's like, do these guys really fucking think Joe and fucking Thrasher and Hayden Deegan and Levi Kitchen give a shit if Shade McElrath or Joey race against them? No, they don't care.
No.
Let them race. Like I said, the only thing I'm looking for from Triumph, Joey Outdoors is going to be damn good.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Triumph.
all right. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nah, I'm looking forward to Supercross, man. It's been a long
I'm
off
excited,
season.
man.
Too.
We get like
I'm
this
getting
all the
bored.
time.
Yeah, I'm getting bored now.
Most stack field ever.
Stop it.
Oh my God! Yes,
Stop it.
yes, it is. But still, okay. All right. So this has been your 2024 Supercross preview show. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody that joined the live. You can check that out, but it's just the first hour basically of this video. Like I said, for the lives, I don't think I'm gonna do the show parts for lives because then we're just kind of being redundant here. I was testing some stuff today, so that's what we're doing. I think I'll do definitely a whole separate live thing probably on Saturday during the race. Qualifying, something like that is going to probably be what happens. So thanks to our sponsors, TLR Coatings, Complete Racing Solutions, Gutter Works, Holster Coat, Isaac Nelson Designs. Thank you boys for being here. Thank you boys for wearing the shirts. Those are nice. I'm glad they've lasted since last year. That's
We're gonna have to
fucking
get the
sweet.
new ones.
Yeah, well, I gotta put a shirt order in. Oh, by the way, the guy, there's one dude who won something. He lives in Canada, Malachi or something from
Travis
from
hasn't sent him anything yet?
Fantasy. His shirts are sitting there. I gotta
Oh.
buy. I the thing that sucks about shipping
to Canada.
Canada
We ran into this before.
is I have to go to the fucking post office.
Not
Like I have
that-
to actually go.
we ran into this before. The guy wants something
Yeah.
from Canada.
Not that
Yeah.
I care because I'm not doing it anymore. Are you guys doing your fantasy shit?
Yeah.
I mean, I am. We gotta
I
talk
loved
about.
your response, and then I loved his backup response.
We gotta talk about
You're
this
like,
after
who the
we get
fuck
done.
are you? And you're like,
Yeah.
Is a frog's ass watertight?
All right. We'll talk about that after we get done. All
Is
right.
a snake's dick dusty?
Oh my God, shut up. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. We will see everybody when we wrap up A1. Later.